Chapter 181. Shan Yu didn't know what happened to Shang Junlin, but he was woken up in the middle of the night. "Your Majesty." Shan Yu bit his lips and groaned, "Let go." No matter how Shan Yu struggled and begged for mercy, the man didn't seem to hear him. Shan Yu was furious and kicked him. Then, he was dragged back and only fell into a deep sleep when the sun rose. When he woke up, all the bones in his body felt like they had fallen apart. It was difficult to even lift a finger. His body was dry and there was a cup beside the bed. Shan Yu slowly sat up and took a sip from the cup. It was warm water with honey. After drinking the whole cup, Shan Yu's throat felt better. He said, "Mu Shi." There was a rustling sound outside. After a while, Mu Shi came in with a bowl of hot porridge. "Young master, you're awake?" "What time is it now?" "It's noon." Shan Yu wasn't surprised by this result. If Shang Junlin didn't restrain himself, he would wake up at this time the next day. Shan Yu finished the porridge and put the bowl aside. "Where's Her Majesty?" "Her Majesty is discussing matters with the ministers. The Prince of Yu was arrested, but this matter was far from over. Whether it was the Prince of Yu's own forces or the forces left to him by the previous emperor, Shang Junlin had to deal with them. The sooner he dealt with them, the better." Shan Yu couldn't get out of bed, so he asked Mu Shi to find a few storybooks to read. After reading for a while, Shan Yu felt a little uncomfortable. He put down the book. "I'll sleep for a while." Mu Shi packed up her things and left. When Shang Junlin came back, the bedchamber was quiet. The palace servants were very careful and tried not to make a sound. This situation only happened when the master was sleeping. Shang Junlin took off his cloak and entered the bedchamber. The bedchamber was quiet. The doors and windows were closed, and it was slightly dim. Shang Junlin went straight to the bed and saw Shan Yu, whose face was red from sleep. For a moment, her heart softened. Shang Junlin sat beside the bed and reached out to touch Shan Yu's face. It was a little hot. Shang Junlin paused and touched Shan Yu's forehead. The temperature was indeed a little high. Shang Junlin frowned, got up and walked out. Mu Shi was waiting outside. Shang Junlin knew that she was Shan Yu's head palace maid and was very trusted by him. "When did you wake up today? When did you sleep?" Mu Shi answered them one by one. "Did he behave strangely today?" Mu Shi thought about it carefully and shook his head. "What did your Highness do today?" Replying to Your Majesty, after His Highness woke up, he ate a bowl of porridge and read a book for about an hour. After that, he slept. Shang Junlin calculated the time and found that Shan Yu had slept for almost 2 hours. "Meng Chong, go get Imperial Physician Gu." Imperial Physician Gu was hurriedly invited to Yuzhong Palace. Shang Junlin sat beside the bed and stroked Shan Yu's hair from time to time. His face was not very good. No need to salute. Just feel His Highness's pulse. A white hand stretched out from the bed curtain. The white skin was covered with red marks. Imperial Physician Gu only glanced at it and then looked away to focus on feeling His Highness's pulse. "Your Highness has some symptoms of a cold. I will prescribe a medicine. After taking it, Your Highness will recover in 2 to 3 days." Imperial Physician Gu wrote down the prescription and a palace servant immediately took it to get the medicine. Shang Junlin carefully put Shan Yu's arm back under the quilt. "Is Your Highness's body seriously injured? How did he catch a cold?" "Rest assured, Your Highness. Your Highness's body is fine. The cold may be because he caught a cold. It's nothing serious." As for why he caught a cold, Imperial Physician Gu did not dare to guess. Thinking of what happened last night, Shang Junlin was annoyed. After he got up, he checked Shan Yu's temperature. After confirming that he was fine, he left. After a while, he came back and found that Shan Yu had a fever. When Imperial Physician Gu recalled the red marks he had seen in a hurry, he couldn't help but say, "Your Majesty, His Majesty's body can't withstand the torment. The fever this time is partly because he caught a cold, and another reason is—" He did not continue and paused for a moment. "If Your Highness is considerate of Your Highness's health, please restrain yourself a little." Shang Junlin's face became more and more ugly. The palace servants could not help but tremble. They did not dare to breathe loudly. Imperial physician Gu knew that his words would anger the emperor, but it was the truth. He had to say it. In the silence where a pin drop could be heard, the chuckle from the bed curtain was unusually obvious. It instantly broke the suffocating atmosphere. In his sleep, Shan Yu vaguely heard Shang Junlin's voice. He woke up little by little and happened to hear Imperial physician Gu's words. He could not help but laugh. Shang Junlin did not have time to be angry with Imperial physician Gu. He quickly leaned over and asked, "Are you awake? Are you feeling unwell?" "I'm a little thirsty." Shan Yu's voice was a little hoarse. Mu Shi, who was serving at the side, quickly came over with warm water. Shang Junlin helped Shan Yu up and let him lean on his body. He held the cup with one hand and put it next to Shan Yu's mouth. Shan Yu's body was sore and weak. He did not want to raise his hand. He drank the water in the cup with Shang Junlin's hand. His throat finally felt more comfortable. When the bed curtain was pulled open, he saw Imperial physician Gu standing at the side. He belatedly realized that his body temperature was too high. No wonder he felt unwell. It turned out that he was sick. Imperial physician Gu had already done what he needed to do. He did not stay to disturb the two of them. He took the medicine box and left. Shan Yu was lying in Shang Junlin's arms. His body was covered with a thick quilt. His face was abnormally red and his breath was hotter than usual. "Did your Majesty hear what Imperial physician Gu said just now?" Shan Yu joked, "In the future, your Majesty should restrain yourself more." "It's my fault." Shang Junlin's tone was a little gloomy. "I shouldn't have disturbed you last night." If it were not for him, Shan Yu would not have to suffer like this. "What happened to your Majesty yesterday?" Shan Yu did not forget that when Shang Junlin hugged him, he repeatedly emphasized in his ear that he could only be his. He also forced him to respond again and again. Cough. Shan Yu touched his burning ears. This time, it was not caused by a fever. Shang Junlin was immersed in deep self-blame and did not hear Shan Yu's words. Shan Yu waited for a long time. When he did not receive an answer, he looked up at Shang Junlin. Shan Yu was stunned when he saw the man's guilt-filled eyes. He pursed his lips. He pursed his lips. He knew his own body very well. If he hadn't taken good care of himself in the imperial palace, it wouldn't have been strange for him to get sick every few days. Shang Junlin had protected him too well. In the past year or so, other than a few accidents, he had almost never gotten sick. Normal people often caught colds, so he couldn't blame Shang Junlin for his illness this time. His hand was tightly held by the man under the quilt. Shan Yu tilted his head and rubbed his cheek against Shang Junlin. "Your Majesty, what are you thinking about? You didn't even hear what I said." The warm and tender touch pulled Shang Junlin out of his guilty mood. He was about to say something when Shan Yu stopped him with his lips. "Your Majesty, don't say anything I don't want to hear." Shan Yu's body temperature was much higher than usual. Under the touch of her soft lips, Shang Junlin forgot what he wanted to say. When Shan Yu retreated, he could not help but want to chase after her. Shan Yu could not avoid it, nor did he want to. His long eyelashes fluttered like butterfly wings, and he slowly closed his eyes. It was a kiss full of tenderness. After it was over, Shan Yu leaned on Shang Junlin's body and his breathing became heavier. Shang Junlin touched his forehead. "You're sick, but you still teased me." Shan Yu snuggled into a comfortable position in his arms. "Her Majesty hasn't said what happened yesterday." Although Shang Junlin liked to do that kind of thing, he would not completely ignore Shan Yu's feelings. Last night, Shang Junlin was very different from before. If he was not provoked, Shan Yu did not think that he would do such a thing. Shang Junlin's hands paused for a moment. "Yesterday, you stared at Gu Huai for a long time. What were you thinking at that time?" Shan Yu remembered that when he and Shang Junlin were in the tea house, he saw Gu Huai in full armor and thought of the Gu Huai he knew in his previous life. He could not help but feel a little emotional. "Your Majesty, what do you think I was thinking?" Shan Yu turned over and looked into Shang Junlin's eyes, face to face. Shan Yu's gaze was as usual. Shang Junlin liked his eyes very much, especially when he saw his own reflection in them. Shang Junlin moved his hand down and covered Shan Yu's eyes. Such clear eyes reflected his own unbearable feelings. You can't think about anything." Shang Junlin's voice was slightly hoarse. "Your Majesty, what are you worried about?" Shan Yu roughly understood that Shang Junlin was jealous. Shan Yu was used to Shang Junlin's jealousy, but he did not know why the aftereffects were so strong this time. He even made a fuss in the middle of the night. "Your Majesty, you don't have to worry about anything. I can guarantee that what Your Majesty is afraid of will not happen. Other than Your Majesty, there is no other person in my heart." Shan Yu's voice was not loud, but it was powerful. Shang Junlin knew that he should trust Shan Yu, but he could not help it. Would a Yu, who was so good, not be willing to stay for him one day? "I know that I will never allow anyone to take my place." Shang Junlin moved his finger down and lifted Shan Yu's chin. "A Yu can only belong to me forever." "So, last night, Your Majesty thought that I would fall in love with Gu Huai." Shang Junlin did not deny it. "A Yu has always been very concerned about him. If that's the case, I also care about Prince Yu, Jiang Huiqing, Shan Qingran. Does that mean Your Majesty thinks that I will fall in love with them?" Shang Junlin pursed his lips and did not say a word. Shan Yu narrowed her eyes and suddenly leaned forward to bite Shang Junlin's face. "Your Majesty, even if you don't believe me, you should believe in yourself. In this world, who can compare to Your Majesty? Why would I give up such a good Majesty and choose someone who is not as good as you? I am not as good as a Yu says. I have a lot of unbearable things." Shan Yu bit him again. "I won't allow anyone to belittle the person I like, even if that person is Your Majesty." Shan Yu bit down hard. After her lips left, she left a bite mark on the man's face. Looking at her masterpiece, Shan Yu was in a good mood. The pain on his face was almost negligible, but the soreness in his heart could not be ignored. Shang Junlin hugged the person in his arms tightly. The joy in his heart seemed to be about to fly out. Shan Yu closed his eyes and allowed Shang Junlin to peck his face like a puppy. He liked the feeling of being needed by Shang Junlin. It made him feel that he was truly living in this world. Shan Yu struggled to reach out from under the quilt and hugged Shang Junlin back. Since this matter was resolved, it was time to settle another matter. "Shouldn't Your Majesty give me an explanation for what happened last night?" Shan Yu could clearly feel that Shang Junlin's body stiffened. Chapter 182. What kind of explanation does a Yu want? Shang Junlin understood that he was in the wrong last night, and Shan Yu got sick because of it. Imperial Physician Gu said that Your Majesty needs to restrain yourself. Then for the next month, Your Majesty should restrain yourself. I will ask Mu Shi to prepare another place for Your Majesty to sleep. Of course, Your Majesty can go back to your own palace if you want. Are these the only two choices? Your Majesty's credibility with me has fallen to zero, so there are only these two choices. Shan Yu didn't want to be woken up in the middle of the night again. After thinking about it, it was better to sleep separately. Shang Junlin was very dissatisfied. He didn't want to be separated from Shan Yu. Even if it was just for a day, he didn't want to go anywhere else. "I won't leave Yuzhong Palace." After a moment of silence, Shang Junlin said. Shan Yu guessed that he wouldn't be willing to leave. Hearing this, he pulled himself out of the man's arms and lay back on the bed. "There are many palaces in Yuzhong Palace. Your Majesty can choose one to move in." Shan Yu didn't have enough energy. Mu Shi brought him the medicine that she brewed. After drinking it, he slept for a while. Shang Junlin hugged him and lay down for an hour. Then he got out of bed and went to the outer room to handle government affairs. In the evening, Shan Yu was woken up by Shang Junlin for dinner. After drinking the medicine and sleeping, Shan Yu's energy improved a lot. His body temperature also decreased. Shang Junlin brought a thick cloak and wrapped Shan Yu in it. The food was placed in the outer room. Shang Junlin carried him out. Because of Shen Yu's health, the dinner was made lightly. The cooks in Yuzhong Palace were good at cooking. Even if it was a light dish, it was still very appetizing. Smelling the fragrance, Shan Yu's stomach growled. He only ate a bowl of porridge for the whole day. He was already hungry. Shang Junlin showed unparalleled patience in serving Shen Yu. As the emperor, he was willing to do these small things for Shen Yu. Shen Yu was already used to Shang Junlin's meticulous care. She leaned on the man's shoulder and ate her fill. Shen Yu slept a lot during the day, so she was very energetic at night. She couldn't fall asleep, so she wrapped herself in a thick cloak and leaned on the soft couch to read Shang Junlin's reports. After the King of Yu was captured, there were still many things that Shang Junlin had to deal with. On the contrary, Shan Yu's life was more leisurely. The news of the King of Yu's defeat spread to all parts of the Great Huan Kingdom. Since it was close to the end of the year, all the vassals sent a lot of things to Shen Yu. They wanted him to test the emperor's attitude. Although they didn't participate in the King of Yu's rebellion, they were all vassals. It was impossible for them not to have any interactions. Now that the King of Yu was captured, they were very worried about whether they would be implicated. Shang Junlin had always wanted to take action against the vassals and take back their excessive control over their fiefs. Now was not a good time. Shan Yu and Shang Junlin went to see the congratulatory gifts sent by the vassals. These things were first sent to a small village outside the palace. Then, the hidden dragon guards secretly transported them to the imperial palace and put them in Yuzhong Palace. Vermilion boxes were neatly placed in the courtyard. Little eunuch Meng was taking people to register. When he saw them, he put down what he was doing and came over to salute. Eunuch Meng Jr. was Eunuch Meng's godson. Back then, Shan Yu had deliberately selected him because he saw that Eunuch Meng was reliable in handling matters. The facts proved that this was indeed the case. Since Yuzhong Palace was handed over to him to manage, Shan Yu did not need to worry too much. You don't need to be so polite. Is everything here? Shan Yu looked at the boxes in the courtyard that were almost full and asked. A part of it has been put in the warehouse. This is not finished yet. Little eunuch Meng called a little eunuch, took the register from his hand, and presented it to Shan Yu. Gue Jun, please take a look. Shan Yu took it. You go ahead. His Majesty and I will take a look. Little eunuch Meng knew that the two of them didn't like to be disturbed when they were together. So, he took the palace servants and retreated to the side to continue the unfinished business. Shan Yu opened the register and took a look. They are willing to spend money. All the things sent were exquisite and priceless. Shang Junlin casually opened the box beside his leg, and dazzling gems came into view. Shan Yu picked up one of the red gems and played with it in his hand. It seems that the supplies to aid Subei are not worth mentioning to them. Shang Junlin's gaze fell on Shan Yu's hand. Shan Yu's hand was white and slender. There was no imperfection in it. At this moment, when he held the blood-red gem, it made his skin look even whiter and more lustrous. It was more eye-catching than the gem. Shang Junlin's eyes darkened. Because he made Shen Yu unhappy last time, he hadn't been close to Shen Yu for a long time. If he didn't try his best, he might not be able to enter Shen Yu's bedroom. It was useless to enter. Shen Yu said that he didn't want him to sleep on the bed. Shang Junlin had to order the palace servants to put a small couch next to him. He slept on the couch at night. After playing with the gem for a while, Shan Yu put it back uninterestedly. The taxes from the feudal lords' fiefdoms are directly given to them. There are also the subsidies from the imperial court and the filial piety from the subordinates. It's normal to be able to give so many good things. I know. Shang Junlin opened the other boxes. Each box was priceless. The imperial court spends a lot of money every year to feed these people's ambitions. Now, these things are back in His Majesty's hands, aren't they? Shen Yu walked over and held Shang Junlin's hand. Ayu is right. Do you like these things, Ayu? Of course I like them. Shen Yu curved his eyes. I have already sent half of them to His Majesty's private warehouse. If you like them, you can keep them with you. Shang Junlin rubbed Shen Yu's fingers. Shen Yu shook his head. Liking them is one thing. I can't use so many of them. Giving half of them to His Majesty is my goodwill. His Majesty has given me so much. I also want to do something for His Majesty. Just like he knew that Shang Junlin wouldn't lack these treasures, he would give them to him if he wanted to. I heard that His Majesty dismissed Duke Xunbei. This news was heard from Mu Shi. Shang Junlin heard Duke Xunbei's words that day. Shan Yu knew that Shang Junlin would definitely do something, but he didn't expect that he would directly dismiss him. He sowed discord between Yu and His Majesty. He deserved it. Shang Junlin admitted frankly. Shen Yu suddenly approached Shang Junlin and looked up into his eyes. Why didn't His Majesty tell me? Are you afraid that I'll be angry? Shang Junlin stared at him for a while and slightly raised the corner of his mouth. Will you be angry? What do you think, Your Majesty? No matter what, Duke Xunbei is still my father. His Majesty dismissed him without a word. Shang Junlin raised his hand and touched Shen Yu's face. Yu doesn't seem to be angry now. Indeed, Your Majesty punished him well. Although he is my biological father, so what? If it weren't for the fact that the blood relationship can't be broken, I would have directly given up half of my bloodline. Shang Junlin sighed and hugged Shen Yu. From now on, I will always be here. Shen Yu's eyes were full of smiles. He raised his hand and hugged Shang Junlin's waist. Your Majesty, don't forget these promises. I won't forget. Never. This new year, Duke Xunbei's life was very difficult. First, he was fined his salary because he favored the concubine's son. Then, he was dismissed because of improper behavior. While others were happily preparing for the new year, Duke Xunbei's residence was gloomy. Shang Junlin's official position was taken away. In the imperial court, he clearly showed his dislike for Duke Xunbei. Many officials who had a good relationship with Duke Xunbei because of Shen Yu began to distance themselves from him. What was the most taboo for an official? The one who was in a higher position didn't like it. These people chose to be friends with Duke Xunbei because the emperor favored His Majesty. They tried to get some benefits for themselves. Now that Duke Xunbei was disliked by the emperor, they naturally chose to distance themselves. From being crowded to being completely deserted, it only took a few words. Duke Xunbei was ordered to reflect at home. He was not reconciled with the current result. He tried his best to see Shen Yu. Since the matter was caused by Shen Yu, it should be solved by Shen Yu. Shan Qingran's marriage was also cancelled. Those people were willing to agree with Duke Xunbei because of the benefits behind him. Now that Duke Xunbei had lost his official position and was disliked by the emperor and His Majesty, how could they not see the situation clearly before continuing the marriage? Duke Xunbei's marriage was cancelled one after another. Although it was a euphemistic attitude, he was still very angry. He knew what these people were thinking. They just felt that he had lost his power, so this deal was not worthwhile. After all, at the beginning, they agreed to let their daughter's child be adopted by His Majesty. They thought that Duke Xunbei's proposal was approved by His Majesty, who knew that His Majesty didn't agree at all. Since His Majesty didn't agree, it was useless for them to think about it. Shan Qingran learned about this from the servant and laughed sarcastically. Shan Yu obviously had a grudge against Duke Xunbei's mansion. Duke Xunbei wanted to tie the two sides together through a child. It was really whimsical. How could Shen Yu be so easy to manipulate? These marriages were cancelled? Shan Yu finished drawing a red plum and put down the brush. Yes, I ordered people to pass the message to these people according to young master's instructions. They chose not to get involved in this muddy water. After knowing that Duke Xunbei had been dismissed from his position, Shan Yu sent people to visit the mansions of those who wanted to marry into Duke Xunbei's mansion. After all, these women were stirred up because of him. Shan Yu couldn't leave them alone. He had done what he should do and reminded them. If there were still people who chose to continue in the end, it was their own choice. Shen Yu wouldn't ask more. How is the situation in Duke Xunbei's mansion? It's very peaceful. Duke Xunbei is discussing matters with his confidants every day and doesn't go out. Second young master also restrained his temper and has been very low-key recently. Does Shen Qingran know about the arrest of Prince Yu? This. I don't know. Send people to find out. If he doesn't know, tell him the news. Shen Yu wanted to know. In this life, Prince Yu had fallen to this point. Would there be any friction between the two like in his previous life? Yes. Although she didn't understand why Shen Yu had to let Shen Qingran know about this matter, Mu Shi still did as she was told. Where is His Majesty now? During this time, Shang Junlin was very busy. Shen Yu sometimes couldn't see him for the whole day. When he went to bed at night, Shang Junlin might not come back. When he woke up in the morning, Shang Junlin had already gone to court. He should be discussing matters in the imperial study. Shen Yu looked at the sky. It was almost time for dinner. He asked the small kitchen to make some food and took Mu Shi to the imperial study. A few days ago, Eunuch Meng secretly complained to him that His Majesty was so busy that he even forgot to eat lunch and dinner. Eunuch Meng was guarding the door of the imperial study. He saw Shen Yu at a glance and hurriedly greeted him. Why are you here? I'm here to deliver dinner to His Majesty. Shan Yu walked into the imperial study. No one dared to stop him. Shang Junlin once said that Shan Yu could enter and leave any place in the palace at will. Shang Junlin was reviewing memorials. When he heard footsteps, he looked up. "Are you?" Chapter 183. Shen Yu looked around. There were no ministers in the imperial study, only Shang Junlin was there. "What is you looking at?" Shang Junlin asked when he noticed Shen Yu's movements. "Why is your Majesty busy here alone? You didn't even prepare dinner?" Shen Yu walked over and asked the palace servants to put the food on the small table. "How did you know that I didn't prepare dinner? Did Meng Chong talk too much?" Shang Junlin stood up and held Shen Yu's hand to sit beside him. "Your Majesty, please don't blame Eunuch Meng. He was just worried about your health. No matter how busy your Majesty is, you still need to eat." Eunuch Meng stepped forward, opened the food box, and took out the dishes inside. "Even if your Majesty punishes this slave will still tell Gue Jun. With you supporting you, you naturally dare to say anything." Shang Junlin was not really angry. The aroma of the food filled the air. Shan Yu put away the booklet in front of Shang Junlin. "Your Majesty, please eat first. I'm hungry. No one can starve you." Shang Junlin held Shan Yu's hand and stood up. Eunuch Meng quickly ordered the palace servants to clean up the place for the meal. The fire in the imperial study was not as strong as that in Yuzhong Palace. Shan Yu stayed for a while and barely warmed himself up. Shang Junlin held his slightly cold hand and ordered Meng Chong to heat up the fire. The dishes were laid out one by one. There were meat and vegetables. The aroma wafted through the air, making people hungry. "I specially asked the kitchen to boil some soup. Your Majesty, please have some." Shen Yu scooped a bowl of milky white soup and put it in front of Shang Junlin. Shang Junlin certainly would not refuse his kindness. After drinking the bowl of hot soup, his body warmed up from the inside out. Shang Junlin ate very quickly. Even though he was taking care of Shen Yu while eating, he still put down his bowl before Shen Yu. Shen Yu always liked to eat slowly. Seeing that the man finished eating, she was not in a hurry. Instead of approving the booklet, Shang Junlin waited until Shan Yu finished eating before leading him to sit in front of the imperial table. "Your Majesty, are you still busy with the matter of King Yu?" Shan Yu glanced at the contents of the memorial. It was written by Sun Zhao, and it talked about the situation in Yuezhou. When the King of Yu raised his army, Yuezhou was in chaos for a while. Fortunately, Sun Zhao and his men arrived in time and suppressed the chaos in the shortest amount of time. King Yu had been in Yuezhou for many years and was deeply involved with the various forces of Yuezhou. Many of them were already following King Yu in secret. If they wanted to take back Yuezhou peacefully, they had to get rid of these forces first. This was Sun Zhao's main task. Things were progressing smoothly. The only thing that concerned people was that part of the King of Yu's forces disappeared from Yuezhou. These people should have been taken out of Yuezhou and met up with the King of Yu. Shan Yu put her finger on the edge of the memorial and said calmly, Shang Junlin, yes, I asked Gu Huai to investigate. The team they took care of on the way came from Yuezhou. Other than that, there were a few other forces whose whereabouts were unknown. Gu Huai received a new task. He did not even celebrate the new year before he led his troops out of the capital. He needed to get rid of the remaining forces according to the results of the interrogation of the arrested people. Shan Yu, Your Majesty, now that you have arrested the people, who was the one behind the King of Yu all these years? That Mr. Tan was also following orders, right? After the King of Yu was arrested, Shan Yu learned from Shang Junlin about what happened to the King of Yu these days. No matter how he looked at it, that Mr. Tan did not seem to be the one who made the decision. Shang Junlin, yes, the Ministry of Justice has been interrogating him these days. Mr. Tan knows a lot of information. According to the results of the interrogation, many of their people were arrested. However, they have not found out who the mastermind is. Shen Yu, is it because they can't find out, or, Shang Junlin rubbed the space between his eyebrows, it's because they can't find out the real identity of the mastermind. That person has never appeared in front of them. He gave them orders through the messengers. Those messengers are dressed in black and wear masks on their faces. They can't see their faces clearly. Shen Yu, this person hides very deeply and is very vigilant. There are so many people, but none of them have seen him before? Shang Junlin, yes. Shen Yu, he doesn't show his true identity, but people are willing to work for him. I'm getting more and more curious about this person's identity. How do they usually address him? Shang Junlin, they call him His Excellency. Shen Yu, to be able to gain the trust of the late emperor and hand over such a large force to him, he must at least be someone who was very active in the imperial court during the late emperor's time. He doesn't know much about the current imperial court. Your Majesty, have you checked the ministers who were more important during the late emperor's reign? Shang Junlin, I have. There is one who fits the description, but he passed away 10 years ago. The trail was cut short. They still had too little information at the moment. Shan Yu didn't know about the existence of this force in his previous life, let alone know who was behind this force. Shan Yu could only give up for the time being. Gu Huai's ability to take action was very strong. He led his soldiers and walked around De Huan like ghosts, uprooting the forces lurking in the dark. The evidence of the King of Yu's rebellion was conclusive. He should be sentenced to death immediately. Considering that it was almost the new year, Shang Junlin moved the execution time back a little. The Ministry of Justice's prison was different from the dock prison. There were all kinds of criminals in it. The King of Yu was locked up alone in one place and was interrogated every day. His title was taken away, his surname was taken away, and his name was removed from the imperial family. Now, he was no longer a noble prince, but a lowly sinner. Shang Junlin wanted to get some information from him. The interrogators knew that the King of Yu would never rise again, so they didn't hold back. In just a few days, the King of Yu was tortured beyond recognition. The man covered in blood curled up by the wall. Whenever there was a sound, he couldn't help but shrink inwards. His eyes were cloudy and his expression was timid. He didn't look like the King of Yu of the past at all. Every part of his body was in pain. Those were the wounds left by the torture. The executioners only needed to ensure that he didn't die. They couldn't be bothered to care about wounds that weren't fatal. The wounds were inflamed and festered. If it wasn't for the fact that it was winter, it would have been even more serious. The moonlight seeped in from the window above. The King of Yu raised his head and looked at the moonlight in a daze. It was cold and charming. He reached out his trembling hand to grab the moonlight, but he only grabbed air. The moon hung high in the sky. It was impossible for him to grab it. The King of Yu covered his face. His hoarse laughter overflowed through his fingers. After an unknown period of time, the embarrassed man leaning against the wall stopped moving. Your Majesty, the coronation ceremony is coming soon. Can you see if there are any changes in the process? An unfamiliar voice awakened the King of Yu's consciousness. He opened his eyes and found himself standing in a magnificent imperial palace. Countless people surrounded him, calling out, "Your Majesty." In their hands, they held clothes and accessories that only an emperor was fit to wear. He opened his arms. The palace servants carefully put on the black robe that symbolized the emperor's identity. Red candles were lit in the hall. It was gray outside the hall. It was suffocating. "Your Majesty, young Master Shan is here." Young Master Shan? Who was it? There was no need for him to ask. A thin young man in a light blue gown walked in slowly. "Congratulations, Your Majesty. You got what you wanted." The King of Yu opened his eyes wide. He saw the appearance of the person who came. It was Shan Yu, but he was different from the Shan Yu in his impression. The Shan Yu standing in front of him was older than he remembered. His facial features were fully developed. There was an indescribable temperament between his eyebrows, which made him more attractive. He called him Your Majesty. Was he calling him? "The auspicious time has arrived. Your Majesty should ascend the throne." Everything that happened next was too beautiful to be real. He ascended the throne as the emperor, surrounded by people, and became the real master of Dahuan. Everyone prostrated at his feet, including Shan Yu. Shan Yu seemed to admire him. The King of Yu saw affection in his eyes. He had seen such emotions in Shan Yu's eyes before. But at that time, he was not the one being looked at. He asked the people around him about the whereabouts of Shang Junlin. The answer he got was that Shang Junlin died a year ago with a bad reputation. This was the ending he wanted for Shang Junlin. All his wishes came true. On the dragon throne, he looked down at the officials prostrating at his feet and Shen Yu standing beside him. The smile on his face became bigger and bigger. Then he woke up. The sky was not bright yet. The moon was hidden in the clouds. He was trapped in the thick darkness and could not break free. For the next few days, he would have the same dream after he fell asleep. The scenes in the dream became more and more real. It was so real that he did not want to wake up. The life in the dream was in stark contrast to the current situation. The King of Yu became more and more absent-minded. Later, the beauty in the dream became a mockery of his failure in reality. The more successful he was in the dream, the more he could not raise his head when he woke up. The King of Yu's abnormality could not be hidden from the officials who had been paying attention to him. Shang Junlin did not take it seriously at first. He only asked them not to kill the King of Yu before they found out the truth. Then, he forgot about it. In the imperial study, the leader of the hidden dragon guards knelt on the ground respectfully and reported the information he had found. So, other than the King of Yu who disguised himself to get close to him, the King of Yu did not have any contact with Gu Huai before he entered the palace? Yes. Shang Junlin tapped his fingers on the table. If that was the case, it did not match with Shan Yu's performance. Looking at Shan Yu's attitude, it did not seem like he had no contact with Gu Huai. There were many inexplicable abnormalities on Shan Yu's body, and he did not hide them. As his relationship with Shang Junlin became closer and closer, Shang Junlin increasingly felt that Shan Yu had many secrets. All kinds of thoughts flashed through his mind. Shang Junlin closed his eyes and said, "This matter ends here." He had a premonition that he would not find any useful information even if he continued to investigate. After staying in the imperial study alone for an hour, Shang Junlin returned to Yuzhong Palace. There was nothing strange on his face. "Your Majesty, come quickly." Shen Yu smiled and greeted Shang Junlin. "I wrote some couplets and the character, Fu. Your Majesty, please bring them to the imperial study to paste." "Okay." Shang Junlin smiled and walked over. He picked up the pen beside him and said, "A Yu wrote one for me. I will also write one for a Yu." Shan Yu wrote a lot and distributed some to the palace servants. He asked Mu Shi to send the rest to the concubine dowager. After all, she had helped Shang Junlin before. Shan Yu had a good impression of her. On the eve of the new year, the Minister of Justice asked for an audience. Your Majesty, the criminal King of Yu wants to see you. These days, the Ministry of Justice used all kinds of methods to get information. However, King of Yu refused to tell Shang Junlin what he wanted to know the most. In the prison of the Ministry of Justice, King of Yu grabbed the door of his cell and stood up slowly. Shang Junlin, you took everything from me. King of Yu's face was crazy and his voice was hoarse. Shen, you should have been mine. You took him from me. You felt it too, didn't you? King of Yu looked at the man with an extraordinary aura and suddenly laughed. What was taken away will eventually return to the hands of its true owner. Chapter 184. You are wrong. Shang Junlin looked at him condescendingly as if he was looking at an ant. A Yu is a person, not an object that can be measured. I respect his every choice. But he would never let go. The laughter stopped abruptly. King Yu stared at Shang Junlin. Do you believe these words yourself? You summoned the Shen family into the palace. Isn't it because of the fate they bear? Shang Junlin suddenly reached out and grabbed King Yu's neck, lifting him up. Don't think that everyone is as dirty as you. You believe in these things, but it doesn't mean that I also believe in them. If I really believed in fate, how could I sit in this position? Cough, cough. Because he was suffocating, King Yu's face was abnormally red. Other than coughing, he couldn't say a word. Shang Junlin frowned and released his hand. King Yu fell to the ground, clutching his neck and coughing violently. Eunuch Meng carefully handed over the handkerchief. Shang Junlin wiped his 5 fingers one by one, as if he was wiping away the contaminants. You called me here just to tell me this? I met Shen Yu outside the palace. If I didn't get close to Shen Qingran and touch his bottom line, do you think he would choose to enter the palace in a fit of pique? If he really doesn't care about me at all, why would he act in a fit of pique? He even gave up his bright future to enter the palace? Every word of King Yu was like a thorn in Shang Junlin's heart. The man's eyes deepened, rolling with unfathomable emotions. Eunuch Meng was close and could clearly feel the oppressive aura coming from the man's body. He couldn't help but secretly sweat. Would Prince Yu's words have a bad influence on His Majesty? Eunuch Meng knew better than anyone else how much Shang Junlin cared about Shen Yu. The more you cared about someone, the more you couldn't tolerate a little betrayal, especially when Shang Junlin was the emperor. If he really thought that Shan Yu had old feelings for King Yu, Eunuch Meng didn't dare to think about the consequences. Before leaving, Shang Junlin instructed the prison guards to entertain the Prince of Yu. Eunuch Meng followed behind him, trembling with fear. He could feel that His Majesty was in a bad mood. No matter what he said, it was impossible for him to not hold any grudges in his heart. Just as Eunuch Meng was about to say a few words of advice, he heard Shang Junlin say in a very low voice, "If we kill the King of Yu, will a Yu be unhappy?" Eunuch Meng was stunned. He swallowed the words he was about to say. Things seemed to be a little different from what he had expected. Shang Junlin only said this one sentence. He didn't expect anyone to answer him. On the way back to the palace, he remained silent. No one knew what he was thinking. Suddenly, Shang Junlin said, "Let's go to the secret prison." Eunuch Meng did not dare to disobey and hurriedly ordered the carriage to turn around. When they arrived at the secret prison, Eunuch Meng subconsciously followed them but was stopped by Shang Junlin. "You stay here. I will go in alone." Eunuch Meng didn't know why Shang Junlin wanted to go to the secret prison at this time, but he couldn't disobey Shang Junlin's orders. He could only stand outside and wait. Shang Junlin's state was obviously not right. He was worried that something had happened and anxiously paced back and forth. After some time, Shang Junlin came out with a cold aura. Eunuch Meng greeted him. "Your Majesty? Return to the palace." This sentence seemed to have exhausted all the man's strength. On the way back to the palace, there was silence. Eunuch Meng didn't know what happened to Shang Junlin in the secret prison. He only felt that Shang Junlin's aura was even colder when he came out of the secret prison. The moon was dark and the wind was strong. The night sky was dotted with stars. The cold wind was bone-chilling and penetrated into the marrow. Yuzhong Palace was brightly lit and lively. Shen Yu sat on the soft couch and watched Mu Shi instruct the young eunuchs to paste the written couplets and the word, fortune. The clever palace maids cut many window flowers and pasted them on the window. Out of the corner of his eyes, Shan Yu glanced at the person outside the room. He stood up and walked out. "Your Majesty, why don't you come in?" The person standing outside was Shang Junlin. Shang Junlin was still wearing a black robe. Shen Yu rarely saw him wearing other colors. When he got closer, he could feel the coldness from the man. Shen Yu reached out and held Shang Junlin's hand that was hanging by his side. He was slightly surprised. The man's hand was very cold. In Shen Yu's memory, Shang Junlin's hand had always been warm. When the weather was cold, he would wrap his hand in his palm and slowly warm it. "Your Majesty, how long have you been standing outside? Your hand is cold. Come in and warm it up." Shen Yu pulled Shang Junlin's hand and walked into the room. The man stood in the shadows. Shan Yu couldn't see the expression on his face. He only felt that Shang Junlin was unusually quiet today. Shang Junlin followed Shan Yu into the room. Shan Yu pushed Shang Junlin to sit on the soft couch. He ordered Mu Shi to bring hot tea to the man's mouth. "Your Majesty, drink some to warm your body." Shang Junlin stared at Shan Yu without blinking. Shan Yu moved the cup in his hand forward. His long eyelashes drooped. The man drank the water in the cup with Shan Yu's hand. Shan Yu took the empty cup and turned around. He wanted to put the cup on a small table. Before he leaned over, he found that his sleeve was pulled. He turned around and saw Shang Junlin holding his sleeve with one hand and speaking for the first time today. "Don't go." Shan Yu looked at the distance between himself and the man who was stubbornly holding his sleeve. He sat back helplessly. Mu Shi came over and took the cup in Shen Yu's hand. Shen Yu finally realized that something was wrong with Shang Junlin. Shen Yu reached out and held Shang Junlin's face. "Your Majesty, what happened? Why do you look so distracted?" He knew that Shang Junlin was very busy recently. But no matter how busy he was, he shouldn't be like today. He looked like he was in a daze. He stared at Shang Junlin's eyes. His figure was clearly reflected in the man's dark eyes. Suddenly, the man reached out and wrapped his arms around his waist, pressing him tightly into his arms. "I went to see Prince Yu today." "Why did your Majesty go to see him?" Seeing that Shan Yu's tone was normal, Shang Junlin's heart calmed down a little. In a place where Shan Yu couldn't see, his eyes showed a complicated expression. "He said something to me. He said that you chose to enter the palace because you were angry with him." When he said this, Shang Junlin didn't know what he was thinking. Maybe he was thinking about something, or maybe he wasn't thinking about anything. He originally wanted to hide this matter in his heart and never say it out loud. No matter why Shan Yu entered the palace, it was fine as long as he had him in his heart. He didn't participate in Shan Yu's previous life, and he didn't have the right to care about it. He thought that he could do it, but at this moment, he found that he couldn't. Whether it was before or after he met Shen Yu, he couldn't ignore everything that happened to him. He longed for an answer, but he was also afraid of getting an answer. He told himself over and over again that he didn't have the time to participate in the past. He shouldn't take it to heart. But Prince Yu's words were like gangrene attached to the bone. The more he didn't want to care about it, the more it kept echoing in his mind. He asked himself, "Can I really not care about it?" The answer was no. He couldn't. He didn't blame Shen Yu for anything. He only hated Prince Yu for deliberately getting close to Shen Yu for a maxim. Shen Yu felt a strong sense of uneasiness from Shang Junlin. He wanted to look up at him, but he was held tightly in his arms. He could only maintain this posture. After a deep sigh, Shen Yu put his hands around the man's thin waist. "Your Majesty, why do you care about what Prince Yu said? He is now a prisoner. He knows that he can't change the situation. What he said is nothing more than to make your Majesty unhappy. When I entered the palace, I did have a little relationship with Prince Yu. Hiss. The man's arms suddenly tightened, and a pain came from his waist. Shan Yu patted his back and comforted him. Listen to me first. The man's arms loosened a little, but he still confined Shan Yu, not giving him any chance to leave. Shan Yu didn't care and continued. Although it was related to Prince Yu, it was different from what he said. If I was angry, I had thousands of ways. Why did I choose to enter the palace, which was the most unpleasant way? I entered the palace for your majesty. I heard a lot about your majesty from others. In fact, I wanted to see what your majesty was like. If I wasn't detained in the palace by Count Zhenbei, maybe I could have seen your majesty long ago. Shan Yu said half-jokingly, if I saw your majesty first, there would be no Prince Yu. Every part of your majesty is in my heart. The heavy fog in Shang Junlin's heart dispersed with Shan Yu's words. He lowered his head and rubbed Shan Yu's face. As for Prince Yu, he was really annoying. He thought that I didn't know anything and pretended to appear in front of me. I only felt that it was fake and didn't want to see him act at all. Your Majesty should have investigated the matter between me and Prince Yu. When I was with him, I was always cold. After knowing his true identity, I thought that entering the palace was a good way to get rid of him. Shan Yu didn't lie. Before his rebirth, he didn't know the true identity of Prince Yu, but this matter couldn't be verified. After his rebirth, he didn't want to have any entanglement with Prince Yu, so he simply chose a path that was completely different from his previous life. Didn't Prince Yu like Shen Qingran? He would help them. Your Majesty, don't think too much because of Prince Yu's words. If your Majesty wants to know about me, you can ask me directly. The closer they got, the more Shan Yu felt Shang Junlin's uneasiness. He didn't know why Shang Junlin was uneasy, but he was willing to do his best to make him feel at ease. Shang Junlin quietly hugged the person in his arms. He wished that time could stop at this moment forever. You will stay by my side forever, right? As his voice fell, a kiss was printed on her forehead. If I don't stay by your Majesty's side, where else can I go? Shang Junlin's arms loosened a little. Shan Yu struggled to free himself from the man's arms. He hooked the man's neck and forced him to lower his head. He pressed his forehead against his. I have to clear my name. I really don't like Prince Yu. No matter in the past, present, or future, I only like your Majesty. After saying that, he kissed the lips that were inches away. There are some things that I won't do with him if I don't really like him. Maybe Prince Yu said something to your Majesty, but your Majesty don't believe him. If it was only Prince Yu, Shang Junlin naturally wouldn't care as much as he did now. What really made him unable to let go was the words of the person he met in the secret prison. He said that Shan Yu was destined to be on Prince Yu's side. Her fate was set and couldn't be changed. Even if the process was different roads led to the same destination. At that moment, Shang Junlin's desire to kill Prince Yu reached its peak. Shan Yu's initiative dispelled the uneasiness in Shang Junlin's heart. He hugged Shan Yu, turned the tables, and fiercely kissed back. Chapter 185. This time, Shan Yu was unusually docile and proactive. Shang Junlin's movements were also very slow. Everything was so slow that it became a kind of torture. With every step, Shang Junlin would ask Shan Yu how she felt. At first, Shan Yu enjoyed it very much, but after a few times, she felt like she was about to collapse. Don't worry about me. Don't ask me. Do whatever you want. It was like a ferocious beast had opened its cage. A ferocious beast was still a ferocious beast. No matter how obedient she pretended to be, she couldn't change her nature. After everything was over, Shan Yu collapsed on the soft bed. She didn't want to move a single finger. She looked up at the man who was tidying up the soft bed. As expected, she saw satisfaction on the man's face. Shan Yu narrowed her eyes. She had an illusion that she had been cheated. She grabbed the man's lapel and pulled him over. What's wrong? Are you not feeling well? Shan Yu saw the nervousness in the man's eyes. She slowly let go of his hand. Forget it. She couldn't blame others for the choice she made. Shang Junlin called for hot water and carefully wiped Shen Yu clean. Then, he helped her change into clean clothes. The dirty clothes were taken away by the palace servants. The soft bed was also changed into clean bedding. After cleaning, Shan Yu was carried to the bed. Shang Junlin hugged her and asked softly, "You, do you want to eat?" Shen Yu silently calculated the time and said, "No need." It was already past Shen Yu's usual bedtime. Shen Yu lay down for a while and found that she couldn't fall asleep. She turned her head and looked at Shang Junlin. "Your Majesty also didn't sleep?" Under the quilt, Shang Junlin's hand was around Shen Yu's waist. Shen Yu was used to sleeping in a man's arms. She was not used to sleeping alone. Last time, after Shang Junlin annoyed her, she was driven to sleep alone on a small bed for a few days. Later, because Shan Yu couldn't stand it anymore, the punishment ended early. "I want to see more of you." Shang Junlin was not sleepy at all. What happened today was like a thorn in his heart that could not be removed or ignored. Shen Yu stretched out her hand from the quilt and covered the man's eyes. "Sleep, what your Majesty is worried about will not happen." The next day, when Shen Yu woke up, Shang Junlin was still not there. She combed his hair and tidied his clothes. Shen Yu looked at the clean and tidy soft bed and asked, "Do you know where His Majesty went yesterday?" This servant heard Eunuch Meng mention that His Majesty went to see the King of Yu. On the way back, he also went to the secret prison. Dark prison. Wasn't Mr. Zhu, the one who had said, "If you obtain the Chen family, you obtain the world," locked up in a secret prison? Was Shang Junlin's abnormal behavior yesterday because of him? Shang Junlin's whereabouts would not be hidden from Shen Yu. After asking around, Shan Yu could roughly determine where Shang Junlin's abnormality came from. What did Mr. Zhu and Shang Junlin talk about? Shan Yu was a little concerned. The world was big and full of strange things. Shan Yu never thought that Mr. Zhu was a simple swindler. He must know something. After all, if he didn't betray the King of Yu in his previous life, the King of Yu would have been able to ascend to the throne. If he wanted to know what happened to Shang Junlin, the fastest way was to ask Eunuch Meng, who had always been by his side. Shen Yu called Mu Shi and asked her to invite Eunuch Meng for a private chat. If it was someone else who wanted to inquire about the Emperor's whereabouts, Eunuch Meng would definitely refuse. However, this person was Shen Yu, the Emperor's most cherished person. He hesitated for a moment, but still took the time to meet Shen Yu alone. "Eunuch Meng, you must know why I asked you to come here. I'll get straight to the point. What did the King of Yu and the Emperor say yesterday?" Eunuch Meng told him in detail what he had heard and carefully glanced at Shan Yu's expression. Shan Yu's expression didn't reveal anything. Eunuch Meng had been by Shang Junlin's side for a long time and knew that Shan Yu was a person who quietly did great things. He dared to tell Shen Yu because he had seen how Shen Yu usually interacted with Shang Junlin. He knew that Shang Junlin didn't have any feelings for Shang Junlin. He didn't want the two to have any unnecessary misunderstandings because of the King of Yu. "I know. Thank you, Eunuch Meng." Shan Yu put down the teacup in his hand. The teacup and the table made a crisp sound. "Your Highness, I'll say something that shouldn't be said here. I've seen the relationship between you and the Emperor." The King of Yu was obviously provoked. His words can't be taken seriously. However, the person involved can't see clearly. Only the Emperor himself knows what is in his heart. I'm telling you this because I hope that you and the Emperor can always be harmonious. Eunuch Meng's meaning was very clear. No matter whether the King of Yu's words were true or false, as long as the Emperor believed that it was false, it would be fine. At the same time, he also hoped that Shan Yu could solve the estrangement in the Emperor's heart as soon as possible. Only in this way could the relationship last long. Eunuch Meng had been in the palace for a long time. He knew a thing or two about the Emperor's temperament. He knew that once the seed of doubt was planted, it wouldn't be so easy to remove it. He watched Shang Junlin get to where he was today step by step. It wasn't easy for him to have Shen Yu by his side, who was also good for him. He didn't want anyone to obstruct them and take Shen Yu away from him. Shan Yu felt that Eunuch Meng was on his side from his attitude. He was quite emotional. It was very good that Shang Junlin had someone who was wholeheartedly considerate of him. I understand Eunuch Meng's words. Rest assured, Eunuch Meng. His Majesty is the person I chose. I naturally won't allow anyone to sow discord between us. No matter what the purpose is, I won't allow anyone to do so. As for the king of you, he's just a grasshopper after autumn. Even if he can jump, how long can he jump? Shan Yu's words made Eunuch Meng calm down. He didn't explain whether there was such a thing between him and the king of you, but the meaning of his words was very clear. He didn't put the king of you in his eyes at all. Since he didn't put the king of you in his eyes, naturally, the future thing that the king of you said wouldn't happen. As for what had happened in the past, even if it was true, so what? Who hadn't been blind when they were young? Moreover, he still remembered that before Gue Jun entered the palace, the hidden dragon guards had presented a secret report that Gue Jun looked at the king of you more because he somewhat resembled his majesty. Now that his majesty was within reach, and Gue Jun and his majesty's relationship was deepening day by day, a mere king of you was nothing. After making a trip to Shan Yu's side, Eunuch Meng relaxed a little. As long as the two masters were willing to communicate well, no matter what other people wanted to do, it would be impossible to succeed. Young master, will His Majesty misunderstand you because of the words of the king of you? After hearing Eunuch Meng's words, she couldn't hide her worry. No. Young master, you can't be careless. Seeing that Shan Yu didn't care, she was anxious. It's said in the stories that many times, because it wasn't resolved in time, it led to deeper misunderstandings and eventually became irreconcilable conflicts. The stories are just stories. I've already told His Majesty about this matter. His Majesty is very observant and won't misunderstand because of a few words of the king of you. Young master, don't underestimate a few words. The more involved you are, the more you can't understand. Perhaps His Majesty is observant in other matters, but it's not certain when it comes to you. Why? Because His Majesty loves you. People who fall in love will always worry about gains and losses. Even if they know it's fake and can't be trusted, it's very difficult to truly not care. Shi's words were clear and logical. Shi knows so much. Do you have someone you like? Shan Yu raised his eyebrows. If you do, I'll definitely hold a grand wedding for you and let you get married grandly. Young master, don't make fun of this servant. This servant doesn't have anyone she likes and doesn't plan on getting married. Young master, you promised this servant that you would always let this servant serve you by your side. This servant knows so much because I've read too many stories. She was a little shy as she spoke. Shan Yu liked reading stories. Shang Junlin arranged for palace servants to go out of the palace every month to buy all kinds of stories for him. Shi and her close friends would sometimes ask the palace servants to buy some stories for them. She was the head palace maid of Yuzhong Palace, so the palace servants naturally wouldn't refuse her request. Shi stuttered and told Shan Yu about how she had asked someone to buy stories. She anxiously waited for Shan Yu to deal with her. Shan Yu looked at her with amusement. Why are you looking at me like that? Your young master isn't so stingy that he won't even let you read stories. There's no prohibition in the palace against reading stories. She breathed a sigh of relief. She wasn't afraid that Shan Yu would punish her. She was just worried about the relationship between Shan Yu and His Majesty. As Shan Yu's maidservant, she naturally didn't want her young master to be wronged because of a few words from Prince Yu. The northern desert fell into civil strife. De Huan naturally wouldn't let go of such a good opportunity. The spies buried in the northern desert began to take action, stirring up the water even more. The northern desert army didn't stay idle either. They took advantage of the chaos to bite the northern desert. Sometimes they disguised themselves as one of the forces to harass the other forces. With foreign enemies spying on them, the northern desert didn't unite but became even more chaotic. In the imperial study, Shan Yu came to eat with Shang Junlin with a food box. Since last time, if Shang Junlin was busy, Shan Yu would bring food to eat with him. Shang Junlin couldn't wait to be with Shen Yu all day long. Naturally, he wouldn't object. If Shen Yu hadn't refused to stay in the imperial study when ministers came, Shang Junlin would have prepared a soft couch for him in the imperial study. It was only a few days before the new year. In previous years, the imperial court would have been closed at this time. However, this year's situation was special. On one hand, there was the matter of the northern desert. On the other hand, there was the matter of Prince Yu. The ministers had to deal with it together. After the meal, Shen Yu stayed for a while. He saw the booklet on the imperial table. It talked about the matter of the northern desert. Shen Yu picked up the booklet. After reading it, he said, "The internal strife will greatly consume the strength of the northern desert. Your Majesty, do you want to take advantage of the situation to do something? It's a little difficult to completely conquer the northern desert. But if the internal strife can last a little longer, maybe we can give it a try." Shang Junlin came over and hugged Shen Yu from behind. "How many people does your Majesty have in the northern desert?" Shen Yu tapped on the booklet. "What does a Yu want to do?" "If we can't take down the northern desert in one fell swoop, we might as well choose someone who is easier to control to become the king of the northern desert. Then we can plan slowly." It was certainly better to have a more peaceful way than a war that was a waste of manpower and money. Shen Yu turned around and put his hands behind his back. He leaned back slightly and looked straight into Shang Junlin's eyes. "This is a very good opportunity. Now the northern desert is in a mess. There won't be a result in a short period of time. Your Majesty, why don't you wait a little longer? When they are almost exhausted, you can spread the news that you are willing to help them and enter the northern desert in the name of assistance. If the people who seek help are tactful, they can make a peace agreement first. If not, the Dahuan army has already entered the northern desert. It will be much easier to do something then." Shang Junlin put his hands behind Shen Yu's back and slowly approached him. The distance between them was getting closer and closer. They could hear each other's breathing. The tips of their noses touched. The man's voice was slightly hoarse. For a moment, I almost thought that Zhu Wang's words were true. Chapter 186. Why do you say so, Your Majesty? Shen Yu was puzzled. Shang Junlin said in a low and magnetic voice, "It's not because of some illusory fate. It's just because of a Yu. If you can get a Yu's help, you will be able to achieve twice the result with half the effort. I'm not as magical as Your Majesty says." Shen Yu smiled. Shang Junlin stood up straight and picked up Shen Yu. "A Yu, don't belittle yourself. Who do you think should be sent to the northern desert?" Since they were going to do something in the northern desert, the other party would definitely not act according to their plan. They had to send someone who could play a role to stir up disputes, lead disputes, and firmly control the leading power in their own hands. Shan Yu went through the information of the officials in the imperial court in his mind. After more than a year, his understanding of the imperial court had deepened. Because he occasionally helped Shang Junlin approve memorials, he knew a lot about the officials in the imperial court. "I think the person I choose may be a bit risky. Do you have a suitable person in mind, Your Majesty?" Shan Yu sat on a chair beside him. "Feng Jun is very suitable. But the matter in Subei is too well known in the northern desert. Now that he has entered the cabinet, it's not appropriate for him to do this kind of thing. It's better to choose someone who is not well known in the imperial court. It's easier to disguise." Shang Junlin also sat down. Shan Yu nodded. The more obscure the person was, the less likely it would arouse the vigilance of the northern desert. "Shen Yu, Your Majesty, what do you think of Jiang Huiqing?" "Shang Junlin, I just sent him to take over Lin Yuan. If he enters the northern desert, won't it arouse the suspicion of the northern desert people?" Shen Yu, of course not in the identity of Jiang Huiqing. "Your Majesty, have you forgotten that he and He Chengyu went deep into the northern desert in disguise?" Shang Junlin, a Yu wants Jiang Huiqing to go to the northern desert with a new identity? This matter seemed insignificant, but it had a huge impact. If they did it well, they would be able to make the greatest contribution in the shortest amount of time. If they didn't do it well, they might even lose their lives and implicate De Huan. Thus, they had to be very careful when choosing the people to carry out the mission. Lin Yuan has already been incorporated into the Great Huan Empire's territory. Your Majesty needs to send an official to take over as soon as possible. Your Majesty can first find someone to test if Jiang Huiqing is up to the task. Shen Yu said this not because of his friendship with Jiang Huiqing. In his previous life, Jiang Huiqing worked under him, so he knew his ability. Although Jiang Huiqing in this life was younger than in his previous life, his intelligence was not inferior. Looking at the entire imperial court, there was no other person more suitable than Jiang Huiqing. Feng Jun, as Shang Junlin said, was indeed suitable, but that was before the trip to Subei. After the incident in Subei, the northern desert people would only hate Feng Jun to the bone. If they sent Feng Jun, according to his style of doing things, the risk of being exposed was too high. Jiang Huiqing was different. When he first entered the imperial court, if he was not in the Hanlin Academy, he was working under the Prime Minister. Later, when he came to Subei, he also disguised his identity and went deep into the northern desert people's inner circle with Yi Chengyu. He did not really do anything with the identity of Jiang Huiqing. No matter how the northern desert people investigated, they could not find him based on these bits and pieces. As long as he was careful enough, the risk of being exposed was not high. Shang Junlin seriously considered Shen Yu's suggestion. That night, he summoned the Prime Minister and Feng Jun to the Imperial Study to discuss. Jiang Huiqing worked under the Prime Minister for a while, so the Prime Minister knew him well. After listening to Shang Junlin's words, the Prime Minister pondered for a moment. I think that this plan is feasible. Jiang Huiqing is reliable. He looks like he is not scheming, but in fact, he does everything well. What you said is very reasonable. His biggest advantage is that he does not have to worry about being recognized by the northern desert people because of his style of doing things. This will greatly increase the success rate of his plan. Feng Jun and Jiang Huiqing had worked together for a while. Yi Chengyu believed that in time, these two young people would definitely become the new pillars of De Huan. Although it was dangerous to go to the northern desert, risks were often accompanied by opportunities. This was a very good opportunity for Jiang Huiqing. Feng Jun also agreed to let Jiang Huiqing do this. The three of them discussed until late at night and finally decided on a preliminary plan. The next morning, the hidden dragon guards brought the secret order to Subei. Shang Junlin did not publicize this matter. The more people who knew about it, the more danger Jiang Huiqing would be in. Other than the Prime Minister and Feng Jun, no one else in the imperial court knew about Shang Junlin's plan. Since Jiang Huiqing was going to the northern desert, the management of Lin Yuan was vacant. During the morning assembly, Shang Junlin brought up this matter for discussion. Lin Yuan would become the place where De Huan specialized in rearing war horses. Shang Junlin placed great importance on this. The imperial court officials knew that Shang Junlin had always placed great importance on matters related to the military, so they did not dare to be careless. In the end, an official who was reliable and had done research in this area was chosen to go to Lin Yuan. There were 2 assistant officials accompanying him. After settling the matters in Lin Yuan, they could start rearing war horses. After settling these matters, there were less than 7 days left before the new year. Shang Junlin announced that he would stop writing and all the unimportant matters in the imperial court were suspended. The officials who had been busy for a year finally had a short break. During this time in the past, Shang Junlin did not need to deal with official matters. There was no one in the palace that he cared about, so he would stay outside the palace alone for a few days. After Shan Yu entered the palace, for some reason, Shang Junlin did not leave Shen Yu alone in the palace. Instead, Shang Junlin spent the entire new year with Shen Yu. If this was the case in the first year, it would not change this year. After the morning assembly was no longer needed, Shang Junlin simply sent all the matters to Yuzhong Palace. If it was not for Shan Yu's refusal, he would even choose to meet the officials in Yuzhong Palace. Even though there was no need to attend the morning assembly, De Huan was such a big country that it was impossible for Shang Junlin to just sit back and do nothing. Some of the important matters that required Shang Junlin's approval still had to be dealt with. As Shang Junlin spent more time in Yuzhong Palace, he spent more time with Shen Yu. When Shen Yu woke up in the morning, he was no longer the only one in bed. Sometimes, when it was late, Shang Junlin would hug Shen Yu until he woke up. Sometimes, when Shen Yu did not allow it, Shang Junlin would wake up early the next morning to practice his swordsmanship. This morning, Shen Yu suddenly woke up. There was no familiar warmth beside him. He touched the bed, and the place where he should have been lying was cold. His sleepiness was mostly gone. Shen Yu propped himself up and sat up. His black hair fell over his shoulders. His inner clothes slid open with his movements, revealing his porcelain-white skin. His snow-like skin was covered with red plum blossoms. The ancient seal had not disappeared, but new marks were added. A chill seeped into his collar. Shen Yu gathered his clothes and called out, "Mu Shi." Hearing the commotion, Mu Shi hurried in. "Why are you awake so early today?" "Bring me my clothes. I can't sleep." "Where is His Majesty?" Mu Shi brought the clothes over and Shen Yu put them on one by one. "His Majesty is practicing his swordsmanship in the courtyard. Do you want to take a look?" Shen Yu's interest was piqued. He had been in the palace for so long. When he woke up in the morning, Shang Junlin was already busy for half a day. How could he have the chance to see him practice in the morning? Shen Yu put on a fox fur cloak and went to the courtyard. It was snowing outside. Mu Shi wanted to hold an umbrella for Shen Yu, but Shen Yu refused. He took the umbrella and walked to the courtyard alone. In the middle of the courtyard, a man dressed in black was holding a long sword. As he moved, the sound of the sword rang out. Shen Yu held the umbrella and stood at a place where he could see clearly but would not disturb the man. He watched quietly. It was the first time he saw Shang Junlin in such a state. His hair was tied up high and the black cloak wrapped around the man's muscular body. His aura was sharp and his eyes were filled with determination. The man's movements were swift and fierce. His every move carried an irresistible momentum. In the vast expanse of white snow, only the man could catch Shen Yu's attention. Shen Yu did not disturb him. The man kept his sword and walked towards Shen Yu. "Why did you come out?" Shang Junlin walked to Shen Yu and helped him fix the collar of his fox fur cloak. Shen Yu stretched his arm forward and covered the top of the man's head. "I heard from Mu Shi that His Majesty is practicing his swordsmanship, so I came out to take a look." The hand holding the umbrella was exposed and was frozen red. Shang Junlin frowned and wanted to put the hand in his arms to warm it up. However, when he saw the snow on his body, he gave up the idea. He reached out and took Shen Yu's umbrella. "I'll hold it." Shen Yu's hand was a little frozen. When he heard this, he let go of his hand and hugged the hot water woman in his arms. Shang Junlin held the umbrella handle and firmly fixed the umbrella above their heads. "Isn't His Majesty cold?" Shen Yu looked at the man in thin clothes and asked. Shang Junlin shook his head. "I'm used to it. His Majesty is still the best. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to stand it." Shen Yu looked at Shang Junlin and then looked at himself, who was wrapped up like a ball. The two of them seemed to be in different seasons. Eunuch Meng brought the cloak over. Shang Junlin was holding the umbrella, so it was inconvenient for him to move. Shen Yu took the cloak and measured it on Shang Junlin's shoulder. Shang Junlin was too tall, so it was inconvenient for him to move. Shen Yu patted his shoulder. "His Majesty, squat down a little." Shang Junlin squatted down slightly. Shen Yu put the cloak on him and carefully tied the collar. "His Majesty, it's better for you to take a hot bath to prevent the cold from entering your body." Eunuch Meng received the order and hurriedly asked someone to prepare hot water. Shen Yu knew that Shang Junlin practiced swordsmanship every day. However, this was the first time he saw it with his own eyes. Eunuch Meng took the sword away. Shen Yu only glanced at it briefly. It was a long sword that was completely black. The blade was cold and the hilt was engraved with patterns. Unfortunately, it was too fast, so Shen Yu didn't see what was engraved. When the two of them arrived at the bedchamber, the hot water was already prepared. Shang Junlin had a lot of snow on his body. After entering the room, Shen Yu untied his cloak and took the umbrella from his hand. "His Majesty, go take a bath." Seeing that Shang Junlin was soaking in the hot water, Shen Yu asked Mu Shi to boil a bowl of ginger water. Shang Junlin changed into clean clothes and came out. Mu Shi also came in with the ginger water. "His Majesty, drink it quickly." "I don't need this." In the end, Shang Junlin couldn't resist Shen Yu and drank the entire bowl. "Your Majesty should also take care of your body. Otherwise, I will be worried." Shen Yu put the empty bowl aside and walked behind Shang Junlin to dry his hair. He rarely did this kind of thing, so it wasn't very smooth. After a long time, he finally dried Shang Junlin's hair until it was half dry. Shang Junlin grabbed Shen Yu's arm and pulled him into his arms. "You, why are you so virtuous today?" Shen Yu's long black hair slid down his shoulders and fell on Shen Yu's clothes. It then went down and intertwined with his hair. Shen Yu looked up at him. His eyes were shining. "His Majesty doesn't like it?" "Of course I like it." The distance between the two of them was getting closer and closer. Shen Yu slowly closed his eyes. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Eunuch Meng's slightly anxious voice sounded from outside the door. "Your Majesty, the Imperial Army found a large number of suspicious people outside the capital. The purpose of these people is unknown. Your Majesty, please make a decision." Chapter 187. Shen Yu sat up from Shang Junlin's arms. The charming atmosphere disappeared in an instant because of this sentence. He looked at Shang Junlin with a little confusion in his eyes. "Why is there still someone here?" Shang Junlin helped Shen Yu to stand up. He stood up and tidied his clothes. "I'll go and see." Eunuch Meng was waiting outside. Shang Junlin changed his clothes and walked out. "What happened?" "The leader of the Imperial Guards is already waiting for your Majesty outside." "Your Majesty, this way please." Eunuch Meng didn't know the details, but he knew that this matter couldn't be delayed. He hurriedly led the way for Shang Junlin. It was still morning. Usually, Shen Yu wouldn't even get up at this time. After Shang Junlin left, he couldn't sleep, so he asked Mu Shi to order breakfast. When he was eating alone, Shen Yu ate faster than usual. He wasn't picky about food, so he casually ate something to fill his stomach. The snow outside had stopped. Shang Junlin didn't come back. It seemed that this matter wasn't small. "Mu Shi, go and ask the people outside if there are any abnormalities in the capital recently." "Yes." After a year of training, the people Shan Yu raised in the village were now able to take charge of things independently. It was easy for them to find some information that wasn't deliberately concealed. While waiting for the news, Shan Yu had nothing to do. He simply went to the small study room, took out a pen and paper, and wrote down what would happen in the future based on his impressions from his previous life. Events were listed one by one on the paper. Shan Yu pressed his fingers against his forehead, trying to find something that could be related to today's matter. After a long time, Shan Yu folded the paper and put it in the candlelight to burn it bit by bit. Shan Yu didn't want to keep this kind of thing that was related to the future. When he came out of the small study room, it was already noon. The weather was clear, and the sun was high in the sky, bringing a trace of warmth to the cold winter. Shan Yu walked into the sunlight and narrowed his eyes slightly. Thinking about it carefully, today's incident was not sudden. After King Yu was captured, Shang Junlin kept him locked up in prison without dealing with him. His purpose was to fish out all the forces behind King Yu. Although they had caught many forces behind King Yu, they still had no clue about the leader. There had to be someone controlling such a huge faction. As long as they did not find the controller, they would not be able to feel at ease. It was very likely that these factions that suddenly appeared outside the capital were here for King Yu. After Shang Junlin came back, Shen Yu's guess was confirmed. These people's whereabouts are uncertain, as if they had suddenly appeared. However, the Imperial Army still found some similarities between them and the people from before. Now that the King of Yu is locked up in the prison of the Ministry of Justice, the traces of these people's activities revolve around the prison. Their target is most likely the King of Yu. Shang Junlin took off his cloak and sat down beside Shen Yu. A Yu is playing chess by himself? In front of Shen Yu, there was a chessboard. On the chessboard, the black and white pieces were fighting fiercely. If either side was careless, they would lose by one piece. Shen Yu put down a white piece, and the white piece instantly suppressed the black piece with an absolute advantage. Shen Yu did not put down a black piece again. Instead, he looked at the chessboard and asked, "Your Majesty, who do you think will win?" Looking at the situation, the white piece is very likely to win. The black piece is heavily surrounded and has no way to retreat. But it seems that if I want, the black piece can make a comeback. The real winner is not the black piece or the white piece, but me, the player, right? Until the last moment, who can say that he is the chess player? Outside the capital, the well-trained black-clothed men in uniform were hiding in the dark. The leader of the Imperial Guards led his subordinates into the area where the black-clothed men were hiding. No matter what the purpose of these black-clothed men was, since they had been discovered, they might as well stay here. A silent battle unfolded in the deserted forest. The strong smell of blood attracted the wild beasts in the depths of the forest. They tried to approach and drag away delicious food, but before they could get close, they were forced to retreat by the murderous aura. The sky gradually darkened, and the movements in the forest gradually disappeared. The leader of the Imperial Guards supported himself with his sword and wiped the blood on his face with his free hand. "See if there are any survivors. Also, check the surroundings. Don't let anyone escape." "Yes, Your Excellency." After packing up everything, the leader of the Imperial Guards went into the palace to report. Unfortunately, this batch of people sent out were all men of sacrifice. They were completely wiped out by the Imperial Guards, so there was no way to get any useful information. Since there was a first batch of people around the capital, there was bound to be a second and a third batch. Shang Junlin specially deployed an army to guard outside the capital. Once they found something wrong, there was no need to report it. They could take action directly. There are strict investigations everywhere. Where did these people come from? In front of Shen Yu, there was a map of Dahuan. On the map, there were many red marks. These were the places where the rebel army had appeared. Gu Huai was ordered to lead the army to eliminate the remnants of the rebel army. Now, he had eliminated several places, and the results were obvious. Shang Junlin stood beside him and looked at the map. The other red marks were all connected to each other. Only the one that appeared near the capital was not connected to any other place. It was as if it had appeared out of nowhere. I don't know. Besides the first day, there were no traces of these people. I also sent people to watch the Ministry of Justice, but there were no suspicious people. Your Majesty, please withdraw those people outside the capital. If they continue to wander outside, the mastermind can only watch. Shang Junlin turned to look at Shen Yu. Their eyes met, and Shen Yu blinked. Shang Junlin looked away and said, "Okay." The people in the capital suddenly realized that the Imperial Guards who often patrolled around the city had disappeared. The more observant people even realized that the soldiers who had been patrolling outside the city had also disappeared. What the hell is going on? There were suddenly more patrols on the streets, but they suddenly disappeared today? Maybe the higher-ups feel that there is no more danger. Don't say. When there are more patrols, there are fewer thieves. In the past, there were thieves sent to the yamen almost every day at this time. This year, there are not many. If you didn't say it, I wouldn't have noticed. It's true. The imperial court did not reveal anything, so the people did not know what was happening outside. In their impression, the leader of the rebels, King Yu, had been arrested and his forces disbanded. All the problems had been solved, and they could have a good year this year. The imperial court could not tell the people everything. Many things were selectively published in the newspapers. Some things that were not suitable to be said would not appear in the newspapers. Subei. Near the end of the year, Jiang Huiqing returned to Subei after dealing with the matter of Lin Yuan. This year was the same as last year. He and Jiang Huiqing spent the new year together. Many of the officials who came to Subei were young and had not been here for long. Those who did not bring their families simply suggested that everyone celebrate the new year together. Being in a foreign land, it was better to celebrate the new year together than to be alone. A few days in advance, the government of Subei had already begun to prepare for the new year. This was their first new year here, and also their first year on the road. No matter what the future held, at least for now, everyone's relationship was very harmonious. On a very ordinary day, Qingyu planned to ask Jiang Huiqing to go out for a walk. The customs of Subei were not the same as those of the capital. Before the new year, there would be a large market. The people would take out the goods they had hoarded for a year to exchange for what they wanted. It was very lively. Feng Jie went out with her people. The other officials also called their close friends to go out with them. They did not have to buy anything. It was good to just join in the fun. Someone invited Qingyu, but he refused. He had already discussed with Jiang Huiqing that they would go out together. The person who sent the invitation teased him, "You have an appointment with official Jiang again?" Qingyu smiled but did not say anything. "I knew it would be like this," the person muttered in a low voice. "If we didn't know your identities, everyone would suspect that you were not real brothers. Even real brothers are not as clingy as you. Huiqing and I hit it off at first sight. Now that we are far away in Subei, we naturally have to take care of each other. We know that you have a good relationship. Then we won't disturb you. Let's meet again next time." After saying this, they left together. Qingyu tidied himself up. After waiting for a long time, Jiang Huiqing did not come out. He could only go and knock on the door. "Huiqing, it's time. Do you feel unwell anywhere? If you don't feel well, it's the same to go another day." The door was opened a small crack. Jiang Huiqing poked his head out. "I don't feel unwell, but something happened. Brother Qingyu, come in first." Qingyu calmly observed Jiang Huiqing. Seeing that he was just a little depressed and had no other problems, he was slightly relieved. "What is it?" "I'm afraid I can't go and talk to Brother Qingyu again." Jiang Huiqing walked to the table and sat down. "I have to leave Subei." "His Majesty wants to summon you back?" For some reason, Qingyu's heart skipped a beat. "No." Jiang Huiqing held the cup, his gaze somewhat blank. "His Majesty has given me a new mission." When the secret order was issued, Shang Junlin did not say anything definite. He gave Jiang Huiqing the leeway to refuse. This trip was very risky, but at the same time, if it was successful, the rewards would not be small. With Jiang Huiqing's background, if not for Shang Junlin's intentional nurturing, it would be impossible for him to make a name for himself in court without a decade or two. Therefore, after receiving the secret order, Jiang Huiqing did not hesitate to agree. He had things he wanted to do. If it could shorten the time, he was willing to pay any price. Jiang Huiqing was a very decisive person. Once he made a decision, he would not regret it. The only thing that made him hesitate was Qingyu. He and Qingyu had discussed how to build Subei well together, how to strive for the best in these few years, and then return to the capital in glory. Now, he was going to break the contract. "Can you tell me?" Qingyu suppressed the panic rising in his heart. "It's okay if you don't want to talk." "I can't tell you about His Majesty's secret order." Jiang Huiqing shook his head. "Okay, I won't ask." "When are you leaving?" Qingyu paused. "You should be able to tell me about this, right?" "It'll probably be after the new year, or maybe before. After I leave, I'll need you to cover for me. You can't let anyone know that I'm not here." "Luckily, I don't have much of a presence," Jiang Huiqing said with a smile. "How long will you be gone?" Qingyu's fingers moved, as if he wanted to hold Jiang Huiqing's hand on the table. In the end, he held back. "I'll wait for you to come back." "It shouldn't be too long. A year at most. 2 years. If I can come back." If he could come back, he would be closer to clearing his teacher's name. If he couldn't, His name would be buried forever with his teacher. There are no ifs. Chen Yu suddenly stood up, grabbed Jiang Huiqing's shoulder, and said word by word, "I'll wait for you here. You must come back." After that day, Jiang Huiqing was much quieter. For several days, he stayed in the place where the files were kept. Chen Yu noticed that most of the files he read were about the northern desert. Jiang Huiqing didn't say anything, and Chen Yu didn't ask either. He just asked someone to find a lot of records about the northern desert and send them to Jiang Huiqing's room. Jiang Huiqing felt that Chen Yu should know something, and he didn't want to hide it from him. He had to go to the northern desert alone. If he really couldn't come back, he hoped that at least one person would know what he was doing. Knock, knock. There was a knock on the door. Jiang Huiqing opened the door, and an unfamiliar man walked in and handed Jiang Huiqing a token. Jiang Huiqing took the token. "This is? My lord, please keep this well. This subordinate has been ordered by His Highness to escort you throughout the journey." Jiang Huiqing held the black token in his hand tightly. When Shan Yu suggested that Jiang Huiqing go to the northern desert, he would definitely do something. It was inconvenient for the hidden dragon guards to be deployed. Coincidentally, the people he trained could be put to good use. He could also let these people investigate the northern desert first. The hidden dragon guards said that an unknown force has appeared around Jiang Huiqing. Do you know what is going on? His Majesty sent the hidden dragon guards around Jiang Huiqing. Chapter 188. Jiang Huiqing is going there for De Huan. No matter what, I don't want him to die in the northern desert. Naturally, I have to take some measures. Not only the hidden dragon guards, but also the hidden dragon guards. When he reaches the northern desert, the hidden dragon guards will listen to his orders. Shang Junlin caressed Shan Yu's cheek. More importantly, he knew that Shan Yu valued Jiang Huiqing a lot. As one of Shen Yu's few friends, Shang Junlin didn't want anything to happen that would make Shen Yu unhappy. Jiang Huiqing's trip to the northern desert this time was risky. Everyone knew this, including Jiang Huiqing himself. Shang Junlin wasn't heartless. He gave Jiang Huiqing a choice. If Jiang Huiqing didn't want to go, he wouldn't force him. Actually, when I sent someone to deliver the secret edict, I asked for Jiang Huiqing's opinion. If he didn't want to go, I would choose someone else. Your Majesty is so nice. Shan Yu leaned on Shang Junlin's shoulder. The other force around Jiang Huiqing is my man. I think Your Majesty has already guessed it. Compared to his previous life, Jiang Huiqing's career in this life was much smoother. If he could return from the northern desert smoothly, he would definitely be able to gain a foothold in the imperial court in the shortest time possible. Shan Yu always had a bit of selfishness towards Jiang Huiqing. He didn't deny this. Shan Yu wouldn't mistreat his subordinates who had gone through fire and water with him in his previous life, even if he didn't experience those things in this life. Soon, it was the new year. The palace was decorated in festive red. With Shen Yu as the host, the palace was even more lively. There was a big banquet in the palace. The ministers brought their families to attend this banquet. In some ways, it showed how much the emperor valued the ministers. When Shen Yu and Shang Junlin arrived, the ministers had already arrived. Shang Junlin led Shan Yu directly to the highest position. The ministers were already used to His Majesty's preferential treatment of Shen Yu, so no one stood out to say anything. In fact, this kind of banquet was quite boring. Shan Yu was not interested in listening to the compliments of the ministers. He focused on the delicious food in front of him. Having learned their lesson from last time, this time, there was no wine on the table in front of them. There were only various kinds of soups and fresh fruit drinks that the imperial chef had concocted. Shan Yu picked it up and tasted it. It was sweet and had a unique fruity aroma. It was exceptionally delicious. He looked down and saw that no one was paying attention to them. He scooped up a spoonful and brought it to Shang Junlin's mouth. Your Majesty, try it. Shang Junlin opened his mouth and ate the food in the spoon. It's very sweet. Their little interaction did not escape the eyes of the ministers who had been secretly watching their movements. The courtiers rarely saw how Shen Yu and Shang Junlin got along in private. Seeing this scene, they couldn't help but widen their eyes. Was this still their decisive and unyielding His Majesty who would not allow strangers to approach? They knew that Shan Yu was favored, but they only had a vague idea of how favored. Only when they saw the two interacting with each other did they know that Shang Junlin didn't just favor Shen Yu. The favor of the emperor was the easiest to get and the easiest to lose. But that was when favor came before love. Looking at the current situation, it was obvious that His Majesty was sincere. The ministers had different thoughts in their minds. Shen Yu didn't care what they thought. He was still clingy with Shang Junlin. How they interacted in private was how they interacted now. Is it still the same group of dancers today? Shen Yu put down his chopsticks and calculated the time. It was almost time. No. Shang Junlin pursed his lips. It's someone else this time. Is His Majesty still jealous of what happened last time? Shen Yu leaned forward and almost leaned on Shang Junlin. It's been so long, His Majesty still hasn't forgotten? Shen Yu was talking about what happened last time at Shang Junlin's birthday banquet. Although Shen Yu paid a heavy price afterwards, Shen Yu still felt that it was very interesting when he thought about it. Shang Junlin raised his hand and stroked Shen Yu's waist. With a little force, Shen Yu's waist softened and she fell into the man's arms. Shen Yu leaned in the man's arms and trembled with laughter. His Majesty didn't send them away, right? Did he have to be so cute? Just because he looked at them a few more times, he changed them. Shen Yu found that Shang Junlin's jealousy was really strong. Sometimes it was quite interesting to see a man jealous. Even if he was jealous, he would also be jealous. Shang Junlin held the shoulder of the person in his arms. Zhan let them out of the palace. Shen Yu trembled even more. She couldn't hide the smile in her voice. If I looked at them a few more times today, wouldn't His Majesty also send the dancers out of the palace? Shang Junlin pursed his lips and didn't answer. Obviously, he had this thought in his heart. If this continues, after a few more times, there might not be enough dancers in the palace. His Majesty really doesn't need to do this. Today, I will only look at His Majesty, not them, okay? Shen Yu propped herself up and withdrew from Shang Junlin's arms. There was still a smile on her face and her eyes were full of moonlight. Shang Junlin used his free hand to touch Shen Yu's face. You have to do what you say. Shen Yu did what she said. No matter how attractive the following songs and dances were, she only supported her head with her hands and looked at Shang Junlin. Shang Junlin wasn't interested in singing and dancing. His attention fell on Shen Yu. He knew Shen Yu's taste, so he constantly put the dishes that Shen Yu liked into his bowl. The fish meat was deboned, so Shen Yu only needed to eat it directly. The dishes at the banquet were very rich. The dishes that were sent to Shen Yu were all freshly scooped out of the pot. They were steaming hot. The atmosphere was very harmonious. Of course, Shen Yu didn't only eat by herself. When she saw something she liked, she would also pick it up and feed it to Shang Junlin. Shang Junlin didn't refuse. As long as Shen Yu picked it up, he would eat it. Feeding Shang Junlin was a very fulfilling thing. He wasn't picky about food. No matter what Shen Yu fed him, he would get a positive response. The atmosphere between the two was harmonious. There was no room for the existence of a third person. Many ministers who had married and established their own careers saw the interaction between the two and felt a burst of toothache. Even when their relationship with their wives was at its best, they weren't so clingy. Feng Jai was far away in Subei. In the Feng family, only Feng Darren and Madame Feng were left. After entering the cabinet, the Feng family's status rose. Many people wanted to establish a relationship with Madame Feng. His Majesty treats Gue Jun very well. A madam sighed with emotion. No wonder His Majesty doesn't want new people to enter the palace. His Majesty's grace is indeed very rare. Another madam whispered. The election will be held after spring. I don't know if His Majesty will agree this time. I don't think so. I've already found a marriage for my daughter. Whether His Majesty chooses or not, it has nothing to do with us. Your daughter is only 15 years old this year. She's at the prime of her life. Why settle down so early? What if His Majesty agrees? Look at how clingy His Majesty and Guizhun are. Do you think His Majesty will agree? In the past, when there was no one in the harem, His Majesty refused to hold the election. Now that Guizhun is here, he won't. The madam who spoke was a first-rank noble. Her husband was competent, and so were her children. She had a 15-year-old daughter who was raised like a pearl. Her talent and appearance were superb. Madame Fong pulled her hand and said in a low voice, "You're doing the right thing. You love your own daughter. The harem is not a good place." Yes. Originally, we thought that if His Majesty agreed to hold the election this year, we would send our daughter into the palace. I'm not boasting, but with my daughter's talent, there's still a chance. But now, I don't think so. His Majesty obviously has someone in his heart. If His Majesty is willing to hold the election for Guizhun's sake, I'll admire him. If he does, it's not worth it for my daughter to enter the palace. Parents always wanted the best for their children. Although it was normal for a man to have 3 wives and 4 concubines, how many women in the world could truly be unaffected by this matter? It was just that they didn't have a choice. Actually, I'm very envious of you. Not only me, but most of the madams here are envious of you. She pulled Madame Fong's hand. If it's possible, I hope that my daughter's future husband can be like Lord Fong, who can only have one in his life. If your Jai is a boy, I'll be thick-skinned and ask for her hand in marriage. Shan Yu and Shang Junlin couldn't feel the movements below. After a while, Shan Yu was a little full. Shang Junlin had been paying attention to his expression. Seeing this, he put down his chopsticks and took a handkerchief to wipe the corners of his mouth. Shan Yu touched his stomach, and a trace of satisfaction flashed in his eyes. Is His Majesty full? Shan Yu didn't need to ask to know that most likely not. This kind of banquet was like this. The purpose was not to eat, but to represent the meaning. The ministers raised their glasses and the atmosphere was quite warm. Outside the palace, the leader of the Imperial Guards and his men lay in ambush in the dark, watching the movements in front of them intently. On the surface, the roads leading to the prison of the Ministry of Justice seemed empty, but in fact, they were all heavily guarded. Tonight was the night of the banquet in the palace. In comparison, the security was at its weakest. If they wanted to do something, it was the best time to choose. On the surface, the leader of the Imperial Guards was attending the banquet in the palace. In fact, he was lying in ambush on the roads leading to the prison of the Ministry of Justice with his men. As the night deepened, a grand firework was lit by the moat. The people flocked to the moat, and the other places seemed empty. Kocha, very light footsteps were heard. The Imperial Guards lay in ambush. After 15 minutes, men in black appeared at the entrance of the alley like ghosts. After confirming that the road was safe, they rushed to the prison of the Ministry of Justice with a clear goal. Little did they know that they had stepped into a carefully arranged trap. In a quiet corner, a silent killing was going on. Blood dripped down and dyed the Bluestone Road red. Occasionally, there were sounds, but they were drowned out by the loud roar of the fireworks. The people in the palace knew nothing about what was happening outside. The music was pleasant to the ears. The dancers in the middle of the hall were moving. They were wearing light-colored muslin dresses. As they danced, their sleeves fluttered, making them look like fairies. Shan Yu ate and drank to his heart's content. He couldn't help but take a few more glances. Shang Junlin held his head and turned to look at him. You said he wouldn't look today." There was a subtle complaint in his voice. Shan Yu calmly looked away and his eyes fell on Shang Junlin's face. His eyebrows curved. "Your Majesty is still the most handsome." Shan Yu didn't lie. When he first saw him, he was stunned by his face. His facial features were deep, his eyebrows were sharp, and his narrow eyes were emotionless. When he looked at Shan Yu, his heart trembled. But now, his eyes were filled with warmth because of him. When he looked at Shen Yu, his eyes were always filled with restrained and unbridled affection. Under his direct gaze, Shang Junlin's earlobes were tinged with light crimson. Shen Yu curiously reached out to touch them. His wide coat accidentally swept the cup on the table. The cup fell to the ground and made a crisp sound. It was just a small episode, so Shan Yu didn't take it to heart. Unexpectedly, a dancer who was closer to them suddenly pounced on them. Chapter 189. The dancer moved very quickly and brought along a fragrance. Shen Yu subconsciously held his breath, but he still smelled it. Shang Junlin moved even faster. He protected Shen Yu with one hand and threw the plate on the table outside. The hidden dragon guards who were guarding outside the main hall broke through the door and entered. The assassination had ended before it even started. The dancer was quickly subdued, and the rest of the dancers were also restrained. Shang Junlin walked down with Shen Yu in his arms. The dancer knelt on the ground and did not say a word. The dagger in her hand was knocked to the ground. Shen Yu noticed that the dagger was glowing with a blue light. It was obviously poisoned. The banquet was forced to stop. After a short moment of panic, the officials regained their senses and stood aside to protect their family members. Including the assassination during the autumn hunt, this was the second assassination attempt this year. Shang Junlin took the sword from the guard and lifted the dancer's chin. He looked at her coldly and asked, "Who ordered you to come?" The dancer's gaze stopped on Shang Junlin for a while before it fell on Shen Yu. Shen Yu frowned. He felt a little dizzy. He was probably affected by the fragrance. Since he was young, he could not accept certain fragrances. Coincidentally, the fragrance that he smelled just now was one of them. When the officials saw this scene, some of them were quick-witted. They had already recalled that the dancer only attacked after Shen Yu swept the cup to the ground. Shen Yu also recalled what happened just now. His mind was very muddled now. It was difficult for him to even think, let alone figure out what happened. Shen Yu clenched his hands tightly. He wanted to stay awake, but his consciousness was getting more and more muddled. Shang Junlin felt that something was wrong with him. He retracted his gaze and looked at the young man in his arms. "Are you feeling unwell?" Shen Yu shook his head. He couldn't faint at this time. Under the watchful eyes of the public, the dancer attacked him because he dropped the cup. If he couldn't solve this problem as soon as possible, it would be very troublesome in the future. Even if Shang Junlin believed him, the court officials would not. Since the dancer dared to do this, she must have a backup plan. If they continued to investigate, they would most likely find him. Shen Yu bit the tip of her tongue hard, trying to wake herself up. The stimulation brought by the pain dispelled the fog in her mind. Seeing that it was effective, Shen Yu quickly reached out and grabbed the sword in Shang Junlin's hand. The sharp blade cut open his skin, and blood flowed down the blade. "You!" Shang Junlin wanted to withdraw his sword, but Shen Yu held it tightly. If he exerted force, he would definitely cause more damage to Shen Yu. The dancer's expression changed slightly, as if she hadn't expected him to hurt her. A sharp pain came from his palm, and his mind became clearer and clearer. Shan Yu curved his lips and smiled. The smile was cold and didn't reach his eyes. Shang Junlin kept exerting force on Shan Yu's shoulder, and his other hand almost couldn't hold the hilt of the sword. He let go of Shan Yu's shoulder and stroked his face. There was a slight tremble in his voice. "You let go. Be good." The court officials were stunned by what was happening in front of them. They didn't understand why things suddenly developed to this point. Shan Yu withdrew from the man's arms. His body swayed a bit, and then he slowly stood firm. One of his hands was still holding the sharp blade, and the blood stained his sleeve. It was painful to look at, but he seemed to feel nothing and took a step forward. This step completely exposed him in the eyes of the dancer. Looking at the dancer's incredulous eyes, Shan Yu's smile became bigger and bigger. "You?" Shang Junlin grabbed Shan Yu's wrist with his free hand. "If you have something to say, we can talk. Let go first, don't hurt yourself." Shen Yu looked back at Shang Junlin. This was the first time that Shang Junlin saw such an expression on Shen Yu's face. It was strange, but also very moving. He felt his heart beating violently in his chest. He didn't know if it was because he was afraid or because he was moved. He was afraid that Shan Yu would be hurt, but he was crazily moved by the young man whose whole body was screaming danger. Shan Yu saw the worry in Shang Junlin's eyes. His wrist felt hot, and his fingers loosened little by little. Clang! The sword fell to the ground. Someone summoned the imperial physician. Shang Junlin quickly went to check Shen Yu's hand. Shen Yu's hand was covered with blood. The blood meandered to the gaps between his fingers, and it was hard to tell where the wound was. Shang Junlin carefully held Shen Yu's hand. His eyes were so red that they almost burned his eyes. He didn't dare to use force, and could only carefully hold Shen Yu's hand in his palm. "Does it hurt?" Shang Junlin's voice was very soft, but the heartache in his tone couldn't be ignored. Shen Yu's fingers curled up, but Shang Junlin pinched them with his other hand. "Don't move, it will bleed." Shen Yu stared at his hand for a while. Under the stimulation of the pain, he reluctantly recovered his thoughts. "It doesn't hurt. How could it not hurt?" Shang Junlin only looked at it, but he felt the pain. He had fought in the battlefield when he was young, and had suffered countless injuries. If this injury appeared on his own body, he wouldn't even frown. But when this injury appeared on Shan Yu's body, he couldn't tolerate it. Eunuch Meng was already stunned by what was happening in front of him. When he heard Shang Junlin's voice, he came back to his senses. He quickly ordered several little eunuchs to call the imperial physician. Mu Shi stood on the side. She wanted to come closer, but she didn't dare to. She had been with Shen Yu for many years and had seen many sides of Shen Yu. But she had never seen Shen Yu like this. He was full of the word, dangerous. The injured hand was carefully held in the palm of Shang Junlin's hand. Blood flowed down his palm and soaked their sleeves. Shen Yu blinked and pulled his hand back from the man's hand. He half-squatted in front of the dancer and asked the same question as Shang Junlin. "Who ordered you to do this?" Although it was the same question, the dancer knew that Shang Junlin was asking who ordered the assassination, while Shan Yu was asking who ordered the framing. "Master, it was you who ordered it." "Really?" Shen Yu suddenly reached out and grabbed the dancer's neck. "The person behind you didn't really think that he could throw dirty water on me with just a few words, did he?" His fingers tightened, and the dancer's breathing became difficult. Her face became more and more ugly. Shan Yu used his injured hand. The more strength he used, the more blood flowed out of the wound. As if the blood that flowed out wasn't his own, Shan Yu didn't even frown. His wrist was grabbed again. Shang Junlin hugged Shen Yu from behind. "You, be good. Let go of your hand first. I know that this matter has nothing to do with you. Let me see your hand." Shang Junlin managed to pry Shan Yu's hand away with great difficulty and tightly restrained his wrist to prevent him from doing anything to hurt him again. Mu Shi handed over a clean handkerchief. Shang Junlin carefully bandaged the wound on Shen Yu's hand. "Your Majesty, take the assassin away first." The Prime Minister walked out and said. Shang Junlin held Shen Yu in his arms. "Take him away and interrogate the person behind the scenes. If you can't find anything, don't even think about keeping your official hats." "Your Majesty, what if?" Another Prime Minister stood out and carefully looked at the young man who was firmly protected in Shang Junlin's arms. "There won't be any what if. Your Majesty and I have been together day and night. If you really have disloyalty, why would you go through so much trouble to assassinate me?" Shan Yu wanted to say something, but he was held in the man's arms. Shang Junlin lowered his head and whispered in his ear, "Don't be afraid, I will take care of it." Shen Yu struggled twice, but he was suppressed by the man. Shang Junlin was really scared. In order to prevent him from hurting himself, Shang Junlin had to hold him tightly in his arms. His breath was full of the familiar scent. His strong arms held a safe space. Shan Yu's tense mind slowly relaxed. The imperial physician hurried over. The main hall was in a mess. Shang Junlin carried Shan Yu to the back of the hall. The Prime Minister and Fong Jun were left to deal with the matters in front. Imperial Physician Gu had already learned about the general situation on the way. He first checked the pulse, then treated Shan Yu's wound. The handkerchief was untied, and the blood on his palm was wiped away little by little. Shan Yu shrank his fingers in pain. Shang Junlin held his wrist, and his voice was indiscernible. "Do you feel pain now?" The pain constantly stimulated the nerves. Shan Yu's mind was sometimes confused and sometimes sober. He looked at Shang Junlin for a while, then leaned over to his face and bit his chin. It was not heavy, and he didn't even feel pain. Shang Junlin only felt that his heart was lightly stung, and it was sore and numb. He held Shan Yu's head and let him lean on his shoulder. He asked Imperial Physician Gu, "How is Yu's condition?" "The wound on his hand is a bit deep. Don't let it come into contact with water for a short period of time. He also needs to avoid certain foods." This official will list some precautions. "Also, this official wants to check what Your Majesty ate today." "What's the matter?" Shan Yu rubbed Shang Junlin's shoulder and whispered, "It's a fragrance. I can't stand the fragrance of that dancer." "If you can't stand it, then why were you so close to her just now?" Shan Yu admitted that he was in the wrong, so he didn't say anything. Imperial Physician Gu checked Shan Yu's pulse again. At Shan Yu's request, he also checked Shang Junlin's pulse. Without a doubt, Shang Junlin didn't have any problems. The fragrance only worked on Shan Yu. Shang Junlin called Eunuch Meng over and whispered a few words to him. Eunuch Meng left the back of the hall and went to do what Shang Junlin instructed. "Will this fragrance affect Yu's body?" Shang Junlin held Shan Yu's injured hand and didn't dare to use too much strength. "At present, other than causing a certain degree of drowsiness, there won't be any other symptoms. This official needs to observe for a few days to see what will happen next," Imperial Physician Gu answered cautiously. Shang Junlin rubbed Shan Yu's fingers and didn't say anything. Imperial Physician Gu took out the medicine from the medicine box. "This is for external application. Apply it once a day in the morning and once a day. It's good for the recovery of the wound." This official will prescribe another prescription to remove the effects of the fragrance in your body. Mu Shi put the medicine away. She was worried, but the Emperor was present, so she couldn't ask directly. "Miss Mu Shi, please decoct the medicine on this prescription quickly. This official needs to see the effect." Imperial Physician Gu handed the written prescription to Mu Shi. Mu Shi didn't dare to delay and took the prescription to decoct the medicine. Cough, cough. Shan Yu coughed a few times in a low voice. Because he had lost too much blood, his face was very pale. Shang Junlin was anxious, but he couldn't do anything. A strong sense of powerlessness swept over him. He could only hug Shan Yu harder in his arms. The pain gradually disappeared, and his consciousness gradually became dizzy. Shan Yu resisted and shrank back when the bitter medicine entered his mouth. "Yu, listen to me. You won't feel uncomfortable after drinking the medicine." Shang Junlin asked Imperial Physician Gu a lot of questions while Shan Yu was semi-conscious. When Shan Yu regained consciousness again, he didn't know how much time had passed. The bitter taste in his mouth couldn't be removed. He pushed the man who was holding him tightly. "Your Majesty, I want to drink water." Shang Junlin touched his face and got up to pour water for him. After drinking a cup of water and eating a few candied fruits, the bitterness in his mouth finally dissipated a little. Shan Yu looked around at the layout of the surroundings. They had already returned to Yuzhong Palace. "Your Majesty, that dancer. I will take care of it." You don't have to worry," Shang Junlin helped Shan Yu sit up. "I have already handed this matter to the Prime Minister and Fong Jun to take care of it. Nothing will happen." Shan Yu leaned against the headboard of the bed. He had already changed into his pajamas. His right hand hurt a little. He raised his hand and saw his tightly wrapped palm. He could feel a slight pain when he moved his fingers. Shang Junlin held his hand and stuffed it back under the quilt. Imperial Physician Gu said that this hand can't be used for the time being, and it can't touch water. Shan Yu nodded. Shang Junlin pinched Shan Yu's injured finger and gently rubbed it. "You, does it hurt?" Without waiting for Shan Yu to answer, Shang Junlin continued, "I am in a lot of pain." Seeing you injured, "I am in a lot of pain." Shan Yu suddenly swallowed the words he wanted to say and pursed his lips. His eyes revealed a complicated expression. "With me here, what you is worried about will never happen. You don't need to hurt yourself to prove anything." Shang Junlin lifted Shan Yu's chin and said in an unclear tone, "Do you remember, you?" Shan Yu looked at Shang Junlin and faintly felt that he seemed to be angry. Chapter 190. Is Your Majesty angry? Shan Yu tilted his head. "Because I hurt myself?" "Yes," Shang Junlin did not deny. "I know that Yu has his own reasons for doing this, but I still hope that there will be a next time. No, I won't let the same thing happen again. It's my fault this time." Shan Yu raised his uninjured hand and touched the man's face. "I know Your Majesty will protect me." But at that moment, he still subconsciously chose to believe in himself. He did not want to leave too much trouble for Shang Junlin. He was used to everyone relying on him. "I don't mean to blame you," Shang Junlin changed the topic. "Let's not talk about this anymore. You should rest for a while. I'll go check on the situation." Could this matter be blamed on Shan Yu? No. Shang Junlin was too concerned. He knew that if Shan Yu had not done anything at that time, things would have developed unfavorably for them. Knowing was one thing, but seeing Shan Yu injured was one thing. He could not bear it. He could not say harsh words to Shan Yu, and he could not vent his anger on Shan Yu. Shan Yu did not do anything wrong in this matter. The one who was wrong was the one who planned this behind the scenes and tried to drag Shan Yu down. Shang Junlin did not stay long. He could not completely ignore what happened tonight. After confirming that Shan Yu was fine, he left. Shan Yu leaned against the headboard and looked at the bed curtain above his head. His eyes were a little dazed. Tonight was destined to be a sleepless night for many people. Shan Yu's hand was injured, and he was affected by the incense. His whole body was weak. It was not until dawn that Shang Junlin came back. Shan Yu closed his eyes and saw Shang Junlin come in. He sat up from the bed. "Why is you not asleep?" Shan Yu smelled blood on the man and frowned slightly. "What did Your Majesty do?" Shang Junlin stopped in his tracks. "Nothing much. I just saw Fong Jun interrogate the assassin." Shan Yu looked at him suspiciously. He seriously suspected that Shang Junlin had done it himself. Shan Yu didn't know. What he suspected was the truth. After he was injured, Shang Junlin had nowhere to vent his anger, so he went to see the dancer who had tried to assassinate him. No one knew what kind of torture the dancer had suffered. Later, when Fong Jun went in, he only saw the dancer's blood-stained clothes and Shang Junlin, who was so cold that no one could get close to him. "I have never thought of myself as a good person. How much blood did you make you bleed today? I want you to pay back double." After ascending the throne for so many years, especially after Shan Yu entered the palace, Shang Junlin's temper had been restrained. Fong Jun hadn't seen the emperor so angry for a long time. When the ministers who hadn't left heard the commotion, they didn't dare to raise any doubts about Shan Yu. They clearly realized that Shan Yu was Shang Junlin's reverse scale. Anyone who touched him would die. No one dared to provoke the angry emperor. They weren't stupid. After the incident, they realized how Shang Junlin and Shan Yu interacted at the banquet. They knew how they got along in private. As Shang Junlin said, if Shan Yu really wanted to harm him, he didn't have to go through so much trouble to arrange for the dancer to assassinate him. The ministers were temporarily placed in the palace. Fortunately, the palace was big enough and there were many empty palaces. The ministers were all placed in one place and could only leave after they were sure that there was no suspicion on them. Shang Junlin personally interrogated the dancer. Under Fong Jun's interrogation, the dancer who refused to tell the truth no matter what finally couldn't bear it and admitted that she had framed Shan Yu. However, she still refused to say who was the instigator. Fong Jun was afraid that the dancer would be killed, so he boldly stopped Shang Junlin from interrogating her. Shang Junlin calmed down and returned to Yuzhong Palace. Under Shan Yu's questioning, Shang Junlin casually explained the progress of the matter. The people who are involved with the assassins have been detained. Feng Jun will arrange for them to be interrogated. How does your Majesty plan to deal with these people? After asking, Shen Yu felt that he had asked a stupid question, so he leaned on the bed. Does your Majesty want to rest for a while? Shang Junlin walked to the bedside and sat down. He tucked Shen Yu in. I have something to deal with later, so I won't rest. Mu Shi, asked the kitchen to prepare some food. Shen Yu didn't insist. This time, the assassination happened in the palace, so it would be more troublesome to deal with it than the last time. Are you is hungry? Shen Yu nodded. Your Majesty, accompany me to eat. Shang Junlin didn't refuse. The kitchen worked quickly. After a while, under the guidance of Mu Shi, the food was served one by one. Because it was morning, the food prepared was mainly light. Shang Junlin wasn't picky and finished breakfast with Shen Yu. The sun slowly rose. Shang Junlin held Shan Yu's hand and strolled along the path. The winter sun brought warmth. Shan Yu raised his hand to cover his eyes. Shang Junlin looked at his hand and his eyes darkened. He held Shan Yu's uninjured hand. Shan Yu used his injured hand to block the sun. His palm was wrapped in layers of white cloth, so the hideous wound across his palm couldn't be seen. However, Shang Junlin would never forget the bloody appearance of this hand. Noticing the man's gaze, Shan Yu put down his hand and waved it in front of Shang Junlin. Imperial Physician Gu's medicine is very effective. It doesn't hurt anymore. You, don't hurt yourself next time. Shang Junlin's gaze was complicated, and his tone was a little depressed. I won't. Shen Yu didn't like Shang Junlin's expression. I promise. A breeze blew, and the hair on Shen Yu's cheek was blown away. He stopped and turned to look at Shang Junlin. If it weren't for this accident, I wouldn't have been able to see such a beautiful sunrise with your Majesty. Your Majesty, don't think about those unhappy things. Look ahead, how beautiful it is. A huge red sun was slowly rising. Not far from the prison of the Ministry of Justice, a silent battle gradually came to an end. The leader of the Imperial Guards wiped the blood on his face and ordered in a hoarse voice, "See if there are any survivors." Their purpose was not only to eliminate the people hiding in the dark trying to rescue the King of You, but also to find the mastermind behind these people. They had deliberately let down their guard in order to give the mastermind an opportunity to fish out the biggest fish behind the scenes. In an inconspicuous house in the suburbs of the capital, a man in a navy blue robe wore a black mask that covered his entire face. Two men in black knelt respectfully in front of him. It's dawn, and they haven't returned yet. The man in the navy blue robe spoke. His voice was hoarse, and it was impossible to determine his age based on his voice alone. I've already arranged for people to receive them. The man snorted coldly. Don't come back with nothing but some things that shouldn't be brought back. Bang! As they spoke, a loud noise came from outside the house. The expressions of the three people in the house changed slightly. One of the men in black said, I'll go out and take a look. The man had an ominous premonition in his heart. He shouldn't have come on this trip. According to his usual style, no matter what happened, he would leave it to his subordinates. However, because he helped the King of Yu's rebellion, he lost too many people in his hands. In addition, the imperial court was constantly sending people to capture his people. Many of his strongholds were destroyed, and his influence was sharply reduced. For a time, he was in a predicament where there was no one he could use. For the sake of the King of Yu, he had already paid too much. No matter what, he couldn't just watch the King of Yu be killed. The forces he had developed were either captured or destroyed. There weren't many that could be used. Even if he didn't act personally this time, it wouldn't be long before those people followed the clues to find him. After weighing the pros and cons, there was only one viable option left. Thus, he took the remaining elite forces and went in the opposite direction, coming to the capital. He didn't have much power in his hands, but that didn't mean that he didn't have any other power that he could use. The premise was that he could save the King of Yu safely. Without the King of Yu, he couldn't activate those forces. This was also the reason why he had tried to save the King of Yu. After half an hour, there was no movement outside. The man became more and more flustered. Deathly silence spread, as if it was the last calm before the storm. The man fidgeted. He stood up from his chair and walked to the wall. He gently moved the flower pot on the desk. A crack appeared in the middle of the wall. Slowly, the crack became bigger and bigger. It formed a hole that could fit 2 people. Before he could walk into the secret passage, the door of the study room was violently broken open from the outside. The person who entered was wearing a uniform of black armor. Under the sunlight, there was a cold glow. The man was furious. Hidden dragon guards. The leader raised his hand slightly and the people behind him entered the room. Most of the men that the man brought were sent out to save the King of Yu. Facing the hidden dragon guards, they didn't have the ability to retaliate. On the first day of the new year, the imperial court was very busy. Shan Yu took an afternoon nap and went to the imperial study to look for Shang Junlin. The prime minister, Feng Jun and the other ministers were all there. The incident that happened near the prison of the Ministry of Justice had already spread to the palace. Some of the officials were released after they were confirmed to be fine. Those who stayed behind went to the imperial study. Eunuch Meng was waiting outside. When he saw Shan Yu, he hurriedly welcomed him. "Are you here to see His Majesty?" "His Majesty is having a meeting with the other ministers." Shan Yu thought for a while and didn't go in. Instead, he went to the side chamber. "I won't disturb His Majesty and the other ministers. When His Majesty is done with his work, please help me inform His Majesty. How is your arrival a disturbance?" Eunuch Meng led him to the side chamber and arranged everything before leaving. Shan Yu had been in the palace for more than a year. Other than a few days ago, he rarely came to the imperial study. Previously, in order to urge His Majesty to eat, Shan Yu went to the imperial study instead of the side chamber. Even though he didn't come often, the layout of the side chamber had changed a lot. There were many small details that Shan Yu liked. Shan Yu didn't have to wait for long before Shang Junlin came over. "Yu, if you want to see Zhen, you can go in directly. You don't have to wait for Zhen in the side chamber." Shang Junlin walked forward and stroked Shan Yu's cheek. "It's not good to disturb His Majesty's business." Shan Yu didn't want to be entangled in this issue. "I came to ask, did the assassin confess?" She didn't want to say anything. Feng Jun said to let her rest first so that she wouldn't die without getting anything out of her. "What about the other people who had contact with the dancers? Did they get any useful clues?" On the way here, Shan Yu heard from Mu Shi that all the dancers, including the dancers who had performed last night, were now detained. The guards were very strict. Outsiders couldn't get any useful information. Shan Yu wanted to know. The fastest way was to ask Shang Junlin. Shan Yu rubbed the teacup in his hand, his voice very soft. "I want to know who has such great malice towards me." Regardless of what they were thinking, they all stood up and saluted the moment they saw them. "You don't have to be so courteous." Shang Junlin hugged Shan Yu and sat down on the main seat. Some of the ministers saw this scene and opened their mouths, wanting to say something. "This matter involves Your Highness. I think Your Highness has the right to know everything. They slandered Your Highness for no reason, so there must be a reason. My dear ministers, what do you think this reason is?" Shang Junlin made the first move, so the ministers' thoughts were led away by him. They no longer thought about whether it was appropriate for Shan Yu, as Your Highness, to appear here or not. "Your subject thinks that we can start from the people around Your Highness to see if they have a grudge with Your Highness in the past. Plotting to murder Your Majesty is a serious crime. No matter whether Your Highness really did it or not, as long as you are suspicious, you will be estranged from Your Majesty." The minister who spoke glanced at Shang Junlin and slowly looked away. Of course, Your Majesty and Your Highness have a strong relationship and are not deceived by outsiders. This assassination can be said to be killing two birds with one stone. No matter whether it succeeds or not, Your Highness will be implicated. Your subject thinks that the person who planned this must have had a conflict with Your Highness. Your subject may ask, Your Highness, can you think of any suspicious person? Shen Yu had been thinking for a long time, but there was no result. Otherwise, he would not have wanted to see the dancer. Until the leader of the Imperial Guards and the leader of the Hidden Dragon Guards came to report, they did not come up with any useful results. The person behind King Yu has been caught? Shen Yu could not believe it when he suddenly received the news that the person behind King Yu had been caught. I sent the Hidden Dragon Guards and the Imperial Guards to act together. They split into two groups and finally caught the person. This arrest had been planned for a long time. It started from the first time King Yu was locked up in the dark prison. After almost a year, they finally succeeded. Congratulations, Your Highness, for getting what you wanted. It's all thanks to you. Shang Junlin hugged Shen Yu and kissed him on the forehead. Now that the person behind King Yu had been caught, Shang Junlin had more things to do. The trap that the late emperor had set for Shang Junlin before his death was finally solved. The person behind the scenes was locked up alone in the dark prison. In order to prevent any accidents from happening, the prison was heavily guarded. Shang Junlin transferred people from the Ministry of Justice and the Supreme Court to deal with this matter together. On one hand, there was an assassination, and on the other hand, there was a rebellion. The ministers were so busy because of these two matters that they did not even have time to rest. Duke Zhenbei was dismissed from his position and stayed at home. Naturally, he did not attend the palace banquet. When he heard the news of the emperor's assassination, it had already been 2 days. Duke, I heard some news from outside. I don't know if it's true or not. After the discussion, one of Duke Zhenbei's trusted aides said hesitantly, What news? Duke Zhenbei looked a lot older because he was dismissed from his position. It's about Gue Jun. The trusted aide lowered his voice. I got the news from the palace. It said that this assassination has something to do with Gue Jun. There's a saying that it was Gue Jun who ordered this assassination. Nonsense. Duke Zhenbei slammed the table hard. Duke, don't be angry. It's not groundless. It said that on the night of the assassination, Gue Jun threw a cup for no reason. That's why a dancer who was performing a dance was killed. Duke Zhenbei fell silent and wiped his face tiredly. What did His Majesty say about this? His Majesty suppressed the news and ordered people not to spread it. Whether this is true or not, it's extremely unfavorable to the Duke's mansion. I know that Shen Yu would not do such a thing. There must be some misunderstanding. If the assassination was true, it would bring disaster to the 9 generations. Duke Zhenbei stood by the window and watched the sun slowly set. He suddenly remembered something that happened many years ago. Just at this time, the trusted aide spoke again. I'm worried that this matter might be related to the forces that Madam mentioned in the past. If it's really related to them, I'm afraid that there will be endless troubles in the future. Saying that there would be troubles was not a big deal. The accusation of assassination was obviously to send everyone to a dead end. Let's wait and see. If it doesn't work, I'll go to the palace. The 2 people in the room didn't notice that a corner of clothes flashed in the corridor outside the room. Shan Qingran passed by here by accident. He didn't expect that he would hear such a big secret. Of course, he hoped that Shan Yu's fate would be miserable. The more miserable, the better. But the premise was that he would not be implicated. He had been in this era for many years. He knew that ancient times were different from modern times. He and Shan Yu had the same father but different mothers. If Shan Yu committed the crime of exterminating the 9 generations, he would not be able to escape. He didn't want to die with Shen Yu at all. When he heard that Shang Junlin had suppressed the matter, Shan Qingran felt relieved. At the same time, there was a strong jealousy. Why could Shan Yu have the best of everything? After entering the palace, he was doted on alone. Now, the high and mighty emperor was willing to suppress the news of the assassination for him. Jealousy was like a poisonous snake gnawing at his heart. Shan Qingran wanted to destroy everything, but he couldn't do anything. Shan Qingran woke up in the middle of the night. He found a person wrapped in a black robe standing by his bed. Who are you? Who I am is not important. What's important is that I can fulfill your wish. Do you want to replace Shan Yu's position? It should be you who entered the palace. Why did Shan Yu get all the benefits? A hoarse voice came from the hood, carrying with it a strange and bewitching power. Shan Qingran was not bewitched. He stared at him with vigilance. What do you want to do? I can help you replace Shan Yu's position, as long as you agree to a small request of mine. You can do it just because you say you can? Don't fool me like I'm a 3-year-old child. Shan Qingran wanted to replace Shan Yu's position, but he wouldn't believe what others said. If it was in the past, he might have foolishly believed it. Now, he only believed in himself. You said that you can help me replace Shan Yu's position. Presumably, other people can do it too. Go find someone else. Compared to me, there are a lot of people in the capital who want that position. After that, he covered his head with the quilt. Apparently, he didn't want to continue the conversation. The black-robed man stared at him for a while. Then, he gave a light hum and left. Everything that happened in Count North's residence was passed to Shan Yu's ears through Yinhua. Yinhua was the name Shan Yu gave to his force. It was mainly responsible for delivering information for Shan Yu. In his previous life, Yinhua was developed to the extreme in Shan Yu's hands. Their intelligence network was spread all over the world, which was very convenient for King Yu. In this life, Shan Yu returned to the time when Yinhua was still in its embryonic form. Everything had to start from scratch. Fortunately, Shan Yu didn't lack time. After a year of development, and with the experience of his previous life, Yinhua grew very fast. Shan Yu sent people to the northern desert with Jiang Huiqing. In addition to protection, the other purpose was to root Yinhua in the northern desert. You mean, you didn't track down the black-robed man? Shan Yu played with a red plum in his hand. Mu Shi lowered her head. Yes. That man appeared suddenly and disappeared suddenly. Our people lost track of him. Shan Yu put the red plum into the white porcelain vase. Pay more attention to the people around Shan Qingran. In this world, as long as something has existed, it will leave traces. What Yinhua needs to do is to find the person according to these traces. I understand. Shan Yu played with the white porcelain vase on the table. Is it beautiful? Mu Shi smiled. It has been done by the young master. How can it not be beautiful? When Shang Junlin came back, he found that there was a touch of red in the bedchamber. Shan Yu followed his gaze and looked. It's the red plum that His Majesty brought back. A Yu is clever and skillful. He should be rewarded. After dinner, Shang Junlin took Shen Yu for a walk outside. A Yu said that he wants to see the assassin. He can do it today. Shen Yu asked, did Lord Fong and the others find out anything? Shang Junlin's gaze fell on Shen Yu. They found out something. The assassin confessed that the person behind the scenes arranged the assassination not to kill me, but to put the crime of assassination on a Yu. These days, I have been thinking about who has such a big grudge against me that they didn't hesitate to plan an assassination just to frame me. I didn't expect that they would hate me so much. Your Majesty, do you still remember the person who was treated as an assassin by you when you first met me? I'm wondering if there is any connection between the two. Shan Yu kicked away the stone beside his feet. Shang Junlin frowned. A Yu means that the people who are targeting you are the same group of people. Chapter 192. I'm not sure, Shen Yu only had this thought. It's been so many years, no one knows who wanted to kill me. If I didn't kill them directly at that time. Shan Yu raised his hand to cover Shang Junlin's mouth. If your Majesty didn't kill them directly and make them afraid, there might be a second and third assassination later. I was lucky enough to meet your Majesty once, but I can't be so lucky every time. Shang Junlin knew that Shan Yu was right. At that time, Shan Yu was too young and didn't have the ability to protect himself. If his actions didn't frighten the people behind him, what awaited Shan Yu would most likely be endless assassinations. Shang Junlin's slightly cold fingers covered his lips. Shan Yu's lips moved, and Shan Yu quickly withdrew his hand. Shan Yu curled his fingers in his sleeves and looked away. "Didn't your Majesty say that you can take me to see the assassin today? When are we going?" I asked Meng Chong to prepare the carriage. Shang Junlin wanted to leave the palace, so eunuch Meng hurriedly arranged the carriage. The two didn't stop and went straight to the secret prison. Fong Jun received the news that the emperor was coming, so he went to the secret prison first and arranged everything before they arrived. When he saw the two of them, he stepped forward and bowed. "The person your Majesty wants to see is here. Your Majesty, please follow me." Because they were going to meet the emperor, the assassin was reminded in advance. She was escorted by 2 jailers and brought to Shang Junlin and Shen Yu. Because of the incense, Shan Yu's memory of that day was relatively vague. He didn't even remember what the assassin looked like. After seeing the assassin today, his memory of that day became much clearer. The assassin's expression was wooden. When she saw Shang Junlin, she shrank back reflexively. The wooden expression in her eyes was replaced by fear. Shan Yu raised his eyebrows and whispered in Shang Junlin's ear, "What did your Majesty do to make her so afraid of you?" Shang Junlin's emotionless eyes swept over the assassin. He squeezed Shan Yu's hand and evaded Shan Yu's question, "Ask whatever you want." Shan Yu just asked casually and didn't want to get an answer. Since Shang Junlin didn't say anything, he didn't ask further. He turned to look at the assassin who was kneeling in front of the jailers. "Besides you, did they arrange any other action?" Shan Yu was half leaning on Shang Junlin and asked. "Yes." "What action?" "I don't know." "Was there anyone else besides you who tried to assassinate him?" "No." "Is there anyone else in the palace other than you?" "Yes." "Who gave you the incense?" "Master gave it to me." Shan Yu asked a lot of questions and the assassin answered all of them. When Shan Yu asked the last question, the assassin became silent. "Why me?" After a long time, the assassin answered, "It's Master's order." After a round of questioning, Fong Jun seemed to have gotten something out of her, but at the same time, he seemed to have gotten nothing out of her. Fong Jun explained, "This woman seems to have undergone special training. It took me a lot of effort to pry open her mouth." When they came out of the dark prison, Shen Yu suddenly thought of Zhu Wang, who was also locked up in the dark prison. He pulled Shang Junlin's sleeve. "What's wrong?" "Your Majesty, send someone to check Zhu Wang's attitude. Zhu Wang has an old grudge with my mother. Maybe we can get some clues from him." "Okay." Shang Junlin called the hidden dragon guards and whispered a few instructions. When they came out of the dark prison, the sun was blocked by the dark clouds. Shen Yu looked at the sky. "It seems like it's going to rain." Sure enough, after the horse carriage traveled for a while, it started to rain. The rain got heavier and the sky got darker. Seeing that the rain would not stop any time soon, Shang Junlin ordered them to find a place to take shelter from the rain. The sun was shining just now, and now it's raining so heavily. Shen Yu lifted the curtain and looked outside. After receiving Shang Junlin's order, the horse carriage turned around and drove to another place. They found a house nearby to take shelter from the rain. The road from the palace to the dark prison was very remote. The people who lived nearby were not high officials or nobles. Eunuch Meng chose a house nearby. The owner of the house was very kind. When he heard that they were here to take shelter from the rain, he quickly welcomed them in. Shan Yu and Shang Junlin were wearing casual clothes when they left the palace. Although their identities could not be identified, it was not difficult to tell from their clothes and actions that they were not ordinary people. There was only a woman in the house. According to the woman, all the men in the house went out to do business. Usually, she was the only one at home. "Young masters, please drink some tea to warm your body." The woman brought out some hot tea from the house and placed it in front of Shen Yu and Shang Junlin. "Thank you, Auntie." Shen Yu picked up the teacup and took a sip. The weather is really changeable. The sun was shining just now, and now it's raining so heavily. I don't know if my husband got caught in the rain." The woman looked at the rain outside the house with a worried expression. Shan Yu found a lot of unfinished umbrellas in the house. He guessed that the business the woman was talking about was selling umbrellas. Shan Yu sat for a while and felt a little cold. He slowly moved to Shang Junlin's side and said in a low voice, "Your Majesty, I'm a little cold." The outside of the palace was not like the inside of the palace. When they were in the palace, wherever Shen Yu went, the ground would be heated up. Their house was obviously not in such a good condition. Coupled with the rain, the temperature in the house was very low. Shang Junlin reached out and hugged Shen Yu in his arms. He held Shen Yu's hands in his palms and asked, "Do you feel better?" When the woman came out, she saw the tall man holding the slightly thin young man in his arms. She smiled kindly and put the food on the table. "Young masters, you have a good relationship. I don't know when the rain will stop. If you are hungry, you can eat some first. The conditions in the house are simple and crude. I hope you don't mind." The rain showed no signs of stopping. The woman went to do her own things. Shen Yu nestled in Shang Junlin's arms and fell asleep. After a long time, Shen Yu woke up and found himself in the carriage. Shang Junlin hugged him with one hand and played with the hair beside his face with the other. "Has the rain stopped?" "Yes." The carriage shook. Shan Yu was drowsy and his voice was getting smaller and smaller. The man came back and saw the woman staring at the purse on the table. He walked over and asked, "What is this?" There were traces of rain on his body. The woman suddenly woke up and said, "It was left by someone who came to our house to take shelter from the rain." "Someone came here?" The woman nodded and told the man what happened just now. "I didn't open the purse. It's probably filled with silver. I know you have good intentions, but you should be careful when you are alone at home. What if it's a bad person?" The woman took a dry cloth and wiped him. "I saw the person's eyes were clear. He doesn't seem to be a bad person. Besides, who dares to do anything in front of the emperor?" The man picked up the pouch. The pouch was well made and looked expensive. It was heavy in his hand. When the pouch was opened, the man paused. The woman opened her eyes wide and found her voice after a long time. "This is too much." The man frowned. "Do you still remember the appearance of the person who came? The next time I go out, I will find a way to return the money. It's too much." The woman nodded. Shan Yu didn't know about this episode. He fell asleep on the way back to the palace. This time, he slept until noon the next day. Shang Junlin was so scared that he summoned Imperial Physician Gu to the palace that night. When Shan Yu woke up, he found that his hand was held in someone's hand. His fingers moved and he immediately alerted the man who was reading a booklet with one hand. "You woke up?" Shan Yu rubbed his forehead. He had a headache because he slept for too long. Shan Yu changed his clothes and walked 2 laps outside. Only then did he feel really awake. "Why didn't your Majesty wake me up?" Shan Yu opened his palm. Shang Junlin was applying medicine for him. The wound across his palm gradually healed. After a few days, it had already scabbed. The scabbed area was a little itchy. When the cool ointment was applied to the wound, it was very comfortable. "I couldn't wake you up," Shang Junlin frowned. "Imperial Physician Gu came to check on you. He said that your vitality was damaged during this period of time. Sleeping more is good for recovery." Shang Junlin didn't mention how flustered he was last night. Shan Yu could roughly guess. He touched his face with his other hand. "Thank you for your hard work, Your Majesty." After applying the medicine, Shang Junlin handed the medicine bottle to Eunuch Meng who had been waiting beside him. "You, give me a kiss and I won't be tired." "Okay, Your Majesty, come closer." Shan Yu raised the corner of his mouth. Shang Junlin followed his words and leaned over. A soft kiss fell on the corner of his lips. Shang Junlin caught the young man who slipped away after kissing him and kissed him back deeply. The palace servant quietly retreated. Shan Yu raised his head. His injured wrist was shackled by the man. His strong arm restrained his waist, making it impossible for him to retreat. "What are you doing, Your Majesty?" Shan Yu felt the restraint on his wrist. He turned his head to avoid the man's kiss and looked at his wrist. He didn't know when, but his two wrists were tied together with red silk. It wasn't tied tightly, but it was just enough to prevent him from breaking free. His snow-white wrists were tied with red silk, which made his skin look even fairer. It was tempting to leave his mark on it. The imperial physician said that a Yu's hands can't be used too much strength. "They can't touch water," Shang Junlin said in a low and hoarse voice. "A Yu can bite me if he can't bear it. Don't use your hands to grab." Shen Yu's warm breath brushed past her ear. She unconsciously curled her body. His hands couldn't be used, which made everything that followed more difficult. Shen Yu bit the man's shoulder to vent his anger, leaving a deep bite mark. The man seemed to feel no pain, or it could be said that he was stimulated by his actions and became more and more excited. Shan Yu tilted his head and kissed the side of his face, lingering. "A Yu." Shan Yu's energy, which had been recuperating for an entire night, was exhausted again. When it was over, Shang Junlin held him in his arms and untied the red silk on his wrists. Even though Shan Yu struggled a little during the process, only a shallow red mark was left on his wrists. Shan Yu curiously touched the red silk. He didn't know what kind of cloth it was made of, but it was very soft and smooth. "What kind of cloth is this?" Shan Yu observed the red silk in his hands. It looked like silk, but it wasn't exactly the same. It was softer and more flexible than silk, and it was very comfortable to touch. The red silk passed through his slender fingers, which made his hands look fairer. Shang Junlin's eyes darkened as he held the red silk and Shen Yu's hands together. "I asked Meng Chong to find it from the storehouse." Shang Junlin rubbed the skin on Shen Yu's wrists. Meng Chong found several bolts. "If a Yu likes it, I asked Meng Chong to send it to Yuzhong Palace." "Your Majesty used such a good cloth to tie my hands." Shan Yu cast a sidelong glance at him. "Red suits a Yu very well. I asked the clothing bureau to make clothes for a Yu to wear for me. How about it?" Shan Yu was about to say something, but Shang Junlin slowly added, "You can only wear it for me to see." You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.